Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Initiative Order. You're watching the Trials of the Damned, where my fellow traveling troupe of vagabonds and esoteric spellcasters, Gutterborn Scum, and Forlorn Philosophers, and one queen herself, will be traveling to a new location outside of the Palace of the Shadow King. But before we get started with our adventure, we do have a couple of announcements. The first, the giveaway on the Initiative Order is still active. Feel free to go over to our Instagram and go through all the details there and like and add and comment friends and all that for the chance to win a set of dice from Posy Dice, a Call of Cthulhu-esque dice tray from Hungry Head Design, and then some kind of Eldritch Horror-y minis from Foebender 3D. The only other announcement we have for tonight is that our next Carnaby Street will be on, what's after September? October 3rd. And we'll see the continuation of the story that left off last week. But as we are getting into our adventure, we're going to go around like we did last time, and each of you will introduce your characters, starting off with Törn.
Hello! I am Guilty Cosplay. I am playing Törn. Törn is a child of Nechrubel. Is besties with death and always carries snacks.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
I don't know what else.
No, that's perfect. Thank you. Kutz.
Perfect. My name's Brianna. I'm playing Kutz. She is a Gutterborn Scum with a bit of an affinity for 3 small monkeys and a knife.
Awesome. The first of many animal companions for this session. Gotven.
Hi, my name's Anne, or you can find me on Twitch as MZDusty. I play Gotven, a forlorn philosopher, who's just kind of pissed off at the world in general.
Awesome. Great. Lygan.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Hi, I'm Lygan. I am an Esoteric Hermit who is obsessed with collecting sharp stones, playing her creepy doll harpsichord, and casting spells if the gods be it.
Fair enough. And last but not least, our queen, Theros.
Hello, I'm Jackie. I'm playing Queen Theris. I am a jittery, nervous, stuttering queen who has a horse who is way smarter than me, and a really tiny, adorable, angry corgi. So don't piss me off.
Alright. Awesome. Now, Lygan, after your adventure to the Hadean Grove, you grew bored with, aboard and some of your other companions, and so you journeyed southward out of the Palace of the Shadow King to Chelswick, where you met these wonderful ladies that you see around you. After spending a number of days adventuring and making a mess of the city of Chelswick, you heard of an event, a carnival, the Carnage Carnival. And as you all head there, you notice, the first thing you notice is on the lake of Lake Onda, this murky, swamp-like refuse pit of water. You see the bright lights of the carnival, reds and blues, greens, purples. As you approach, you see 4 small humans. Not children, but dwarves. And as you approach, it seems that the four of them are collecting gear, weapons, and armaments, and packs from those that are wishing to enter the carnival. As you approach the first one, 5 silver, please, to enter.
Is that 5 silver a piece?
No, apologies. 5 silver total, so one for each of you.
Uncomfortably take out my coin purse and like take out 1 silver coin and kind of plop it in its hand and kind of look back towards everybody else.
He holds out his hand toward the rest of you all.
Kutz will take out a silver piece as well and kind of just hand it over to him.
Kutz. And Gotven.
I'm sorry. I don't believe I got your name.
Me.
Sorry.
I'm Eni.
Eni.
Yes.
Well, I am actually providing assistance to the catering in this carnival, so I should be on the list as a vendor.
I don't see any food.
Good job. Yep. Doing exactly as you should. Good job, Eni. Okay, I'm just gonna go now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
As you do, roll a presence check for me.
Okie dokie. Nice. We're 2d6 for everything, plus our modifier, right?
A d20 plus your modifier.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, that's different. Oops. That is a 5.
A 5. As you walk past him, you watch as 2 of the other dwarves kind of close in front of you, blocking your path. We'd really appreciate it if you just gave us our silver piece to enter.
I would like to cast Daemon of Capillaries.
Oh, wow. All right. Go ahead and roll a presence check. Roll a presence check, DC 12, to see if you can do that.
It's a 10.
It's a 10. So as you pull out your scroll and you begin to read it, caught off guard, you fumble a bit on the words and the spell dissipates.
Still have that spell for later, right?
Yes, the scrolls don't go away. You can use the scrolls as many times as you want, up to the amount of hours that you have for the day.
Listen, I'm in massive debt. I can't just be paying silvers to go to the carnival.
Seeing this happen, I think Lygan will go up and just produce another silver coin out of this like kind of like raggedy, almost like tattered cloth bag that she just has a couple in, pays for Törn, and then she turns towards Theris and gives Theris a silver piece back and says, "Royalty does not pay to go to the carnival," and like kind of like bows her head and turns around awkwardly.
No. You will take this back. I will pay.
She just keeps walking. She just keeps walking into the carnival at this point, and I will now take out my weird like little piano and I just start playing like this really creepy little diddly tune as I just kind of keep walking past the dwarves.
Okay. As you walk past, everything paid. I believe Kutz, did you pay? I may have missed it.
I did, but Kutz will also, having just seen Lygan and Theris have this interaction, kind of slide up next to Theris and say, I mean, if you don't want your silver, I'll take one.
Okay, and I'll give it to her.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Don't think
Yeah.
it would work.
So
Just like that, huh? How about you give me one too?
Okay.
She's gonna pay for me that one.
all right. Okay. And you watch as he's like confused because money keeps changing hands and there really hasn't been a whole lot. Like he has the 5 in his hand, but he's watching you guys pass around money, and then he's just go on to the next checkpoint. It's okay.
And then I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. Thank you so much for your service. I dubbed the Night of the Carnival.
And
And then I walk past.
he looks at you kind of shocked, but then kind of just bows and lets you pass. The next phase, the two dwarves that Törn had just walked past. There's a fourth one behind those two, and he looks. I'll take your bags and any weapons that you have on your persons. If you would like to attempt, as I see all the heads shake, if you'd like to attempt to hide your weapons, go ahead and give me either a presence check or an agility check.
Okay, 16.
And
My horse with me.
Dirty 20.
dirty 20, a 16,
18 presents.
and 18 presence. Gotven. What'd you get, Theros?
A 7.
7. And Gotven, did you manage to roll? I don't think I heard it. We may be losing her for a second. That's fine. We'll continue. The only person they see weapons on at the moment is you, Theros. And as they move past everybody else and approach you, his hand extended for your weapon. What would you do?
I look at my corgi Porgy, and I tell him to bite.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a attack roll for your corgi.
Ben's just watching, super amused.
4 to attack. 2.
Oh, you have to roll a d20, straight d20
Oh.
first to see if it hits.
Just kidding. I'm a liar.
DR 12.
13.
13 will hit, so how much was that on the d4?
So it was a 2.
A 2. You watch as this little tiny corgi bites into the leg of this dwarf, and the dwarf falls over, screaming, "Ah! Ah!" in pain. Your corgi ripping the Achilles tendon out from this dwarf, and his blood is gushing out of the wound. You watch as his face suddenly starts to go pale as his 3 brothers rush to his side and start to attempt to stabilize him and put pressure on the wound.
Okay, inside, everyone, inside.
And they're distracted but for a moment. And that's plenty of time for you to get all of yourselves into the carnival, including Theros, her dog, her horse, and Kutz' 3 monkeys.
I mean, clearly we're part of this. We should have just told them we were part of the carnival. Jeez.
Once inside, you see a menagerie of obscurity and grotesqueness. Men walking on stilts, bearded women, something that looks like some sort of beast combined with a man walking around the grounds. But on the far side, Kutz, you see games. The chance to make something. To get something.
Well, ladies, does anyone feel like some games today? I feel like I'm gonna get lucky. Yes, yes.
Let's.
Amazing! And darlings, little 3 monkeys are like tiny, almost like red tinged pygmy monkeys are running up and just kind of all over the place. Not necessarily listening to Kutz at all, but they're present.
And as you start heading toward the games, you see a few. You see one where there's a stack of heads standing on the counter. Behind it, a wall with a number of holes in it. Another one, you see these spores, Lygan, somewhat similar to the mushrooms and things of that nature that you saw near the Hadean Grove in Sarkosh. Another one, you see a small crossbow, maybe about hand-sized, chained to the table with a number of what looks to be stuffed taxidermy animals on the other side. A spinning wheel with a set of daggers laying in front. The list goes on and on. These are just a few of the ones that you see. Are there any that call your interest?
Lygan immediately runs to the spinning wheel with daggers.
Okay. As you walk up, where'd it go? There it is. You see a child. Maybe it's about a dozen, but 12 years old. Hi. Are you here to play the Dagger of Chance?
How do I play?
Well, and you just grab that dagger here and you throw it at the board behind me, and hopefully you hit something and you make a mark.
Okay. And is there like a sign that says how much it is, or do I assume that since we paid to get in, it's free?
Let me see. I'm gonna say it's free because you paid the cover. Because if not, y'all will be broke by the end of this, and you won't win any money from these. So
Nothing.
I'll say it's how you get your wristband. You get your wristband, and then you can play all the games you want. And if you win,
Perfect.
you win. You lose, you lose. All right. So to play this game, I got to do a few things.
Cool.
I got to roll a d4. I got to roll a d6. I got to roll a d8. I got to roll a d10, a d12, and a d20. 10, 12, and d20. And now, what you'll do is you'll roll each one of those in order, and we'll compare.
Okay.
So for the
it was a.
Go ahead.
It was a D4.
Yes.
Okay. D4. I got 2.
A d4. So as you throw it, you hit the spinning wheel, and you watch as the boy shakes his head. No, try again. Try again. Go ahead and roll your
roll
D. No, roll a D6 now.
Okay. 4.
4. You again throw it, and he's just kind of just shaking his head, looking at you. Go ahead again. Roll your D8.
Okay. I got an 8.
An 8. So as you throw it, it connects, and you watch as his face lights up, and he goes, "Ha! You did it! You don't worry about the other ones. You won one, so you're gonna get a prize. I mean, if you want to throw the other ones and see, that's fine, but you don't need to. You'll win a prize with just that."
Okay. I'll take the prize.
All right, go ahead and roll a D100 for
Ooh, okay. I got an 11.
An 11.
Yeah.
An 11. He walks back and he pulls out this little bag and he brings it to you and hands it to you. And as you open it up and dump it into your hand, it's a set of gaming dice.
Okay.
I'd like to peer over Lygan's shoulder and like examine the prize from behind. Do they do anything?
Go ahead and make
Maybe kind of like literally like playing with them, like.
Make a presence check for me, please.
Me or Törn?
Törn.
16.
16. They seem like standard gaming dice. You have a feeling maybe one of them is weighted, but you wouldn't be sure unless they're rolled.
Well, isn't that nice? Wonder if any of the games have more explosive prizes.
Explosive.
And like a child, she just like still has the dice in her hand. She turns to meet your eye light, like your eye line, and just kind of goes, "You think so?"
We can always try.
Huh. And she just kind of like looks at everybody else to see what everyone else is doing.
Theros, Kutz, anything draw your attention?
You said there was a game with a crossbow?
There is.
I want to play that one.
You want to play that one? Okay. So as you run up into light, seeing this small hand crossbow, let me find it. There you go. Go ahead. And you see this kind of gruff-looking individual. His nose kind of red and kind of like an alcoholic's nose, where it's just red and puffy all the time, and his eyes are a little glazed over, and he's like, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I would like to play, please.
Oh, okay. So what you do here is you grab this, and he points to the crossbow. Hang on, let me. You know how to load one of those? You mean to do it?
Of course, I know how to load one.
Oh, all right. All right, and he goes to this wall behind you that has all these kind of taxidermy animals behind it, and he starts stacking them and rearranging them and whatnot. All right. Do me a favor. Roll. We're gonna roll one at a time. You go ahead and roll 5d10 for me.
Oh boy. Okay. 5d10.
Actually, roll 5 of them, and then we'll go through them in order and see how many you hit, or if you hit any.
Great. Okay, so the first one, do you want me to do them individually?
Yes,
Like,
we're gonna
tell
go
you
through.
as I roll them?
We're gonna go through them one at a time. You don't have to. They don't have to be in any order. They just have to hit the same number that I rolled. So if you hit a number that I rolled, you'll get a prize. So what'd you get?
Okay, so I got 2 7s, 2 10s, and 1 3.
So the first couple, the first 2 shots, you miss, and they kind of go through the cracks, and you kind of shake it off, and you load the next one, and you shoot again. That one missing as well, and you load for another time, aim, shoot, and you shoot this really giant buck-toothed squirrel, like where the teeth from this squirrel kind of goes down below its chest, like where it sits on its chest almost. And it hits it square and it falls over. And then you quickly reload and you shoot again, and this time hitting this bird that seems to have this like squid-like face, and it impacts right where the tentacles and the beak of its mouth all kind of connect. No blood and guts or anything like that, since it's just a stuffed animal at this point. But
That's
you
unfortunate.
you do hit two of these creatures, and he said, "Oh, that was lucky. But here you go." And he hands you. Go ahead and roll a d100.
Oh yeah. So if I don't have a 100, is that just the
2D.
percentile?
Yeah, percentile.
All right. That would be 80.
80. He reaches behind where he probably keeps all the prizes, and he pulls out this little pinwheel and hands it to you. There you go.
Thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry. And he turns and he hands you this ticket that's kind of red with purple writing on it.
What is
And he kind of just points off a ways, and as you turn around, you see this giant fun house on the far end of the carnival. That's for over there if you feel like having some fun.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it costs a silver normally, but the ticket will get you in for free. Kutz, as you're standing there, find the page. Roll a presence check for me. 15. As you're standing there, you hear a group of children kind of skip past the, giggling amongst themselves and having fun. But you hear one of the kids say, "There's this there used to be this old man that lived in the fun house, and he said they say that my mom told me that he killed some children at one point." And they trail off as you.
It really is the best thing you can do with children.
Just take care of them early, right? Oh, wait, is that not what you meant? Oh.
I mean, give them a higher purpose. Let them meet Nechrubel.
Oh, right, yes, Nechrubel, the best, yes, amazing. Kind of glancing around, well, was there anything you ladies wanted to do specifically, or?
If I look around, do I see the funhouse?
You do. Kind of following the hand that the man pointed. Following his finger, you turn around and you see this funhouse, lit up like a Christmas tree. The front of it, a giant face of a clown, kind of gaudy paint that looks like it's seen better days, but it's functioning. And where the archway is to enter is the inside of its mouth, similar to behind me. Just brighter colors.
So to get an idea of what Lygan looks like, she's very short. She's about maybe 4'2", 4'3", wears a very gaudy, sort of gothic, Victorian style Lolita dress with a petticoat that's all ripped and torn and like moldy. It's like gross. It is absolutely probably has never left her body. Ripped stockings, boots, like looks like a grown child. And basically just kind of like grabs her pigtails and looks at all of you and then like points to the fun house and just goes, "We should go see if the guy's in there. Come on, it'd be fun."
It's probably the most interesting thing to do around here.
I have this free tickets, so maybe I could make it work for all of us.
Well, I mean, if that doesn't work, then Törn can just do the thing that she did last time and just get in, Just tell us that we're supposed to be here.
It'll work one of these days.
Some of us look like we belong in a fun house.
See, that's our point exactly. There we go. We just work in the funhouse. It's the cover story. We can do it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So as you head
She
toward,
kind of spins on her heels and runs off.
so as you lead the party Lygan toward the funhouse, you see plenty of individuals starting to head toward this main center tent as this man with his big wide-brimmed top hat, this nice big red coat, start yelling and screaming at the top of his lungs. Well, step right up. The carnival's about to. Our main event is about to begin. You can tell right when he starts talking that he literally could give two shits about what he's talking about. But he's trying his best, and he goes on. He's trying to get people to interact with him and come into the carnival, come into this main tent. But he quickly trails off and is just like, fuck it. And starts heading into the main tent, kind of shoulders hunched.
What's he wearing?
He's wearing a top hat, and this big red coat with, this giant collar that's popped, that has this kind of gold trim along the sides and along the back, and gold buttons all the way down. His trousers seem to be made of some sort of leather, and then his boots are very fine for somebody, who's living in a carnival, especially in these days.
And he's heading towards the tent?
He's heading into the main tent, correct.
I would like that top hat, but I could come back for it later.
I spin on my heels again towards everybody and be like,
We could check out the main tent and then go to the funhouse. You can get your top hat. I kind of would like to see Theris shoot the top hat off the guy with the crossbow. That'd be kind of cool.
It is a newfound skill of yours.
I think you should do it.
We can try it.
Perfect.
If Theris, you'd like to shoot
The big top.
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll do it.
If you'd like to shoot from where you're at, go ahead and make a presence check as you pull out your crossbow and attempt to shoot it at this man.
Wait, isn't it chained to the table?
Oh, it is chained to the table. You're right. So you'd have to pull it off the table and aim it. Yeah, the DC will be slightly higher, but go ahead and roll presence check still. As you quickly load it, and the guy.
I'm gonna turn to my horse. I'm gonna turn to Barbarister really quickly. And I'm gonna stroke his little face. I'm gonna give him a little nose boop a couple times because that's the kind of queen I am. Barrister, I need you to help me pull this off. I need to impress my new friends. We know that me making friends is hard. Help me.
Go ahead. I forget what you have to roll, but go ahead and roll what you need to in order to see if Barbarus will help you. Or Barbister?
I don't know. It just says occasionally adds +2 to presence tests.
Oh, okay.
Involve logic and intellect, so I don't know if this counts, but I'm trying it.
Yeah, I'll give it to you. He looks at you and under normal circumstances, I wouldn't help you because you're typically a bumbling idiot. However, since Törn, I can't be bothered with her name, but since Törn wants this hat so badly, I guess I could help. And he kicks the table and the chain as you're pulling on it, and the chain snaps, and it gives you the leverage and the momentum to fully turn and aim and shoot. So go ahead and roll. You'll add a +2 to your presence for that roll.
I turn to everyone. I'll bet any one of these rings, and I pull up my hand.
Uh-oh. Did we all lose audio?
Mm-hmm.
And we lost audio. Uh-oh.
I think we got the idea.
We got the idea. And can you
I will
hear us?
take that bet.
All right.
There's some right
17.
here.
17. So you aim.
Oh, you're back.
You shoot. And as the bolt goes flying and some of you start to exchange money or pull out money to take this bet, the crossbow bolt hits the center of the hat, unbeknownst to the man, and pins itself against a wooden pillar a couple feet away from him. And he continues walking into the main tent.
Ta-da!
Told you she could do it.
What are you talking about? She completely missed him.
I thought you wanted the hat.
What?
And I start skipping over to pull the bolt out to get the hat for Theris.
Okay. You skip over, pull out the bolt, bring the hat over to Törn, and give the
Yeah,
bolt,
and then give the bolt back to Theris.
give the bolt back to Theris. Törn, you
I'm
now
gonna
have a
look at my
nice little
horse.
top hat with a hole in it.
And I'm gonna look at my horse. Did I do that wrong?
I believe your friend wanted you to hit that man in the head, not the hat. I think you misinterpreted the word there, but it's okay. Next time we'll do better. Or, well, you'll do better. I'm always perfect.
That's true. That's true. You are.
I'd like to put the hat on the horse.
You walk over and you put the hat on the horse, and he kind of snorts at you, but he looks up and puffs his chest up a bit. Seems rather proud of his new hat.
Huh.
Very dashing.
Hats on animals. I never thought about that. Where are you? And looking around for the monkeys. At this point, I just feel like, where did they go?
You look around, and at this point, you see that your monkeys have just kind of wandered off. One of them is like jumping around on one of the tables, throwing daggers at the wall where this young boy is like cowering behind for fear of being hit. Another one rolls over to where these bowling ball sized cannonballs are being rolled into the face of a goblin. Which Lygan, you've noticed these before, like the one that you met in the Hadean Grove, and you watch as it just smashes against its nose, breaking its nose. Blood goes everywhere. The third one is, let's see, where's the third guy? The third guy is, you turn and your third little monkey friend is actually inside. There's like one of those claw machine games, and he's inside with all of the other prizes that are within it.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you're so perfect, all of you. I'm so proud of you. She's gonna try to go up to each one, even though they probably won't listen to her, and like just sort of pat them on the head. You're doing so good. Oh, and then go over to the one who's like kind of in with the little claw prizes and be like, okay, you need to come out of there now, please. It's like again.
You watch as he just kind of looks at you and sticks out his tongue and then just goes. It looks like you're gonna have to play this game in order to get your monkey out. So,
Okay.
go ahead and let's see, what do I need to do here? All right, I need to roll a percentile die. And then you need to roll 6d6.
Ooh. Okay, so I have 1, 2 3s, 1 4, 1 5, and 1 6.
Okay. So, the goal of this game in order to win is you have to stay within 10 of my original number. So I rolled a 65. So you have to stay within 10. So read them in order really quick and I'll add up, and I'll either add or subtract. I believe you said 1.
1,
So
3,
Okay, so that's plus 2. Okay.
3.
Plus 3.
4.
Uh,
5.
oh,
And
that's
6.
5 and 6. How does that even add up to plus 10? Oh. Yeah, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, so you go there and you quickly grab these cranks and you start moving around, and you finally look, and your monkey's hopping around back and forth, and you smack the button, and as it falls down, you're as it grabs your monkey, and you crank it over and drop it, and your monkey comes rolling out and just.
And she's going to like kind of kneel down next to him because he's rather small, and she's very tall and lanky, like almost like unnaturally long limbs, and just cross her arms and pout at him, be like, "See, it's not very fun, is it?"
You just kind of.
Grab the little one and start carrying him with her.
You watch as he initially starts to like pull away and like try to crawl away, but after you officially grab hold of him and bring him in, he just kind of climbs up onto your shoulder.
Törn is still arguing with Gotven about whether or not the ring that they bet on is owed to her. Not even sure who bet which way, but she's gonna argue regardless.
Okay. Gotven, is there... I forget who was arguing for which side, but I would imagine Törn, being Törn, is on the winning side?
Yeah, it cut out, so I don't know. Did she hit it?
She did hit it. I don't...
She did? Oh.
She did hit it. So were you betting that she'd miss?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Damn it.
Technically, as soon as she hit it, I said, "Oh, you missed," because I thought she was aiming for the guy. So
She did it.
now I'm going to be arguing that she hit it, though. Oh gosh.
Fine, I guess you win.
You have
this
a
time.
strong argument on either side.
I'll give it, because I stay true to my bets. If I lose, I lose. So I pull off one of my rings from my good hand, and I go ahead and I hand it to you. And it has, looks just like this. It has like raven's claws around the front of it, and it's a beautiful yellow stone in the center. It does nothing, it just looks nice. I'm gonna hand it to you.
Ooh. Well, you can have the stone back once I replace it with a tooth or something, but yes, this setting will be quite nice.
Enjoy it while you can. I'll win another one back soon. And I'm looking at all of the games around me, looking for a table with maybe cards anywhere.
Ooh, cards.
Or a dice game.
Let me look. Closest one. Yeah, it looks like there's one where you spin kind of like a roulette table.
Oh.
Where you spin it around. That's roulette, right? Yeah, where you spin it around and then it lands on a certain number.
Are there any others playing it right now?
There does not seem to be anybody else playing. The games here are more, you're winning they're less gambling in the sense of like traditional gambling, and more of just like having fun and potentially winning a prize.
Yeah. I'm looking around. I look like I have an itch that needs to be scratched. But you can't quite put a finger on it. But I'm looking.
There's also a little Plinko thing over to one side as well.
Okay.
There's if you have an idea of what you're looking for, you know what, where you could win some money? You know what? They have one of those things where you spin it, and looking around, where you spin it and you have to get the coin all the way down at the bottom, like they used to have at Taco Bell's.
I'll head over there. I'm just gonna start walking over.
All right. As you see it, you see this older lady standing there, and you watch as a kid's trying to do it, but he moves his hand too quickly, and the coin goes flying off. And she's, well, next time next time you'll get it for sure. Next time, just you gotta put a coin in there in order to play, though. You know that. And the boy just kind of looks defeated and like pulls out his pockets. He doesn't have any coins, so he just walks away, looking toward, like, kind of passes toward you all as he does.
I have a feeling he won't get it next time. Hello.
Oh, well, hello there.
Hi, can I try this game? How does it work?
Well, first you place a coin on this top one here, and she points to this little peg that's sticking out. And after that, you have to kind of move your hand and finagle it so that way it hops from one to the next. Well, basically, you gotta get it all the way down to the bottom, and if you get it down to the bottom, you win the pot in the inside.
Is there a lot of coins and stuff on the bottom?
There are... Oh, boy. 83 silver pieces in there.
Okay. I dig through my coin purse and I pull out a coin.
Okay.
And I drop it at the top.
So, the first thing I need you to do is I'm going to roll 2d10s, and I need you to roll 2d10s. Or you roll 3d10s, I'm sorry.
Okay. 13.
13. Hang on, what'd I get? That's a 12. Okay. So okay. Oh, I'm sorry. 13 total. Okay.
1-8.
1-8-4. As you do. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so it had to be within the numbers that I roll. So I roll a 4 and an 8. So as you go and you start twisting, you watch as it gets down to the second rung, and then the third rung, and then your hand slips and it goes flying off and chinks against the wall of the container, and swirls down to the bottom.
Oh god.
Oh, too bad.
Dang.
You know, next time you can get it for sure. I know you will.
Oh, there won't be a fucking next time. Can I try one more time? One more.
Sure, go for it.
A 1.
Can I cast Tongue of Eris on him?
On the old lady?
Yeah. Oh, yes, the person running the game.
Okay, go ahead and give me a presence check DC 12.
19.
19, so it succeeds. And what does Tongue of Eris do?
Creature of my choice is confused for the next 10 minutes.
Okay. So, we'll say, go ahead and tell me your score. Just to see if you actually succeeded or failed. What the total,
shit.
what the total of your 3d10 were.
20.
Oof. No, so like pretty much right off the bat you go, and it goes flying. But she is kind of confused, and you watch as she rubs her hand. She goes, man, I thought it would. I need to go to that game over there. It's my shift over there. Somebody's been coming and meant to relieve me. And she, have a good day, you guys. I don't know why I'm here. It's passing. And she just mumbles and starts wandering off. Kind of confused, scratching her head.
If you don't mind, ma'am, do you have the key to the bottom there?
Roll a presence check.
Can I just pull that from you real quick?
Roll a presence check. I'll say because she's confused, the DC will be considerably lower.
In the meantime, I put another coin in. I'm like desperate to fucking win this shit.
Go ahead and roll your 3d10.
Oh, that's a 7, but can I like give something up to reroll?
You could use an omen if you'd like.
How many omens do we have? I start with 3. This seems like the stupidest thing to use it on. I'll do it.
And 15 for you, Gotven.
No, it's an 8.
An 8. So, the good news is I lowered the DC considerably from a 14 to an 8. So
Yes.
as Gotven, you kind of twist it and you get to the second rung, and then again you watch as it just spirals all the way down as you fail yet again. The lady reaches into like the pouch in her dress and hands you a key that looks like it goes toward this thing, this container.
Oh, thank you, ma'am. Yes, I will give Gotven the thumbs up and unlock the prize chest underneath.
Awesome. So you unlock
Like you're a winner after all.
you unlock the bottom and you watch as the coins fall to the ground, and as you pick them all up, you count. Gotven, you played 3 times or 4 times?
3.
3. So you find 86 silver pieces in there
Oh shit, son. Alright.
instead of 83.
I'm gonna try and scoot at least like half of those towards me, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
If
just gonna
allows it.
I'm gonna just scoop a bunch into my purse, but just kind of stand there for me, disappointed that I lost. You know, just my pride. So.
So I'll say, if you're trying, most of you can't see what's going on underneath there, being on the other side of the table. So, Törn, you have no problem pulling roughly 80 or 41 of them into your coin purse quickly, collecting some of the others. Gotven, you could probably grab, if you're grabbing a quick handful, maybe about 20 of them, which leaves about 20 or so for the rest of the party that Törn you pick up as you are coming out from underneath the table.
Can I just like drop kick this game and smash it?
Make a strength check for me.
Okay. 4.
You kick the table, and you stub your toe, and it hurts really bad, and you're gonna take 1 point of damage as you stub your toe on the corner of this thing.
I'm just gonna limp and just kind of walk away from everyone. Just
Okay.
limp away.
As you start to walk away, the lot of you, go ahead and roll presence checks for me.
Sweet. Another 15.
15. Törn, you got a 2.
Well, I rolled a 1.
Okay. And then 5 for Gotven. Lygan, how'd you do?
We were rolling for what again?
A presence check.
I got a 6.
A 6, and then it was at a 6 or 7 for you, Theros. So, Kutz, being the only one to hear this, you see a different set of children run by, and you hear the one girl, the girl that's her. She says, "Yeah, there used to be, they say that funhouse, that the clown in the funhouse, his name was Swathi, and he's supposed to be evil, but like all clowns are evil, so like doesn't that just make sense?" And the other boy's like, "Yeah, clowns suck. They're pretty bad, and they're probably evil. The guy probably deserved whatever's coming for him." And they trail off as they get farther away from it.
So, has anyone ever heard about a clown named Swathi before? Evil clown, as though there's a difference between other clowns.
Sure, I just keep up with clowns these days, and I know all their names.
I know, but apparently children do.
I don't think I've ever heard of a Swathi.
An evil clown. I don't know.
Oh, I can't say I hang around many children.
That's fair. I mean, neither do I, but they're all around the place right now, it's swarming with them. So, but I mean, I guess it's a carnival, so isn't that a place for children?
I have any recollection of any like other stories or things about this creature, this person apparently that exists, this clown?
Go ahead and make a presence check for me.
So 14.
A 14. Thinking and recollecting, you, especially since your original travels were from Grift, traveling by this area, you'd have known that Swathy was a clown that apparently was burned at the stake for murdering children.
Okay.
Oh, like that's such a crime.
I mean, what a way to go, burning at the stake, right? I mean,
Yes, it must have been fun. This is true.
Will say if he's in the fun house, that does make me want to go inside just that much more.
Well, I mean, the only way to find out if he really exists is to go inside the funhouse. So I think you should go in the funhouse to see if he exists. Because if it's a story kids are saying, maybe it doesn't even exist and it's just a funhouse. Maybe.
Now, do you think this is a clever marketing ploy on the part of the carnival organizers? Or is it a deterrent? Because if they don't want Swathy in there, I don't think that we should be, helping them out in any way without the promise of compensation. Could ask that sad, hatless man.
I wouldn't ask him if the horse is with us wearing the hat. Might get really upset.
That is, the horse's hat. He came in with it. It's completely different from his. It's got a hole in it.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, it's his hat.
I'm glad
Horse
we're all on the same page.
belongs to the hat. The hat belongs to the horse. I got it.
Finders keepers. It's an old saying, I think.
But didn't she put the hat on
No,
the horse?
no, my horse was wearing it when we walked in.
I don't know what the fuck's happening anymore. But let's go. Either way, it's a fucking fun house. We're supposed to have fun, right?
Fun!
I suppose.
So, are you heading to the funhouse, or are you heading toward the man whose hat you did not steal?
The man with the hat.
So as you head toward that main central tent and you walk in, you see immediately kind of in the center of this ring, two men on either side spewing fire toward the crowd, and you watch as the crowd's like, "Whoa!" and just kind of making general noises of excitement and happiness. This man without his hat now is now standing in the center of the ring, with a whip in one hand and a chair in the other, dueling what looks like to be some sort of large cat. And he's, the cat lunges at him, and he's, using the chair to hold him back while using the whip at the same time. He's, "Stay back!" Whipping him, and this giant cat just lets out and immediately kind of ducks into the corner. And at this point, you start to see a number of people start to stand up and walk out of the tent as you guys are walking in and finding a seat. But the cat doesn't seem to come out and react or retaliate in any way. And you watch as he starts to get a little angry, and he goes to raise it again and looks around and realizes that most of his viewers are gone, and just like, whatever, what's the fucking point? And he starts to wind up the whip and put it into his, and loop it onto his belt, and he sets the chair down and just kind of sits in the chair slumped over. And the two guys kind of spew fire again. He's like, fucking knock it off, and go back to your rooms. And the two of them kind of put together your stuff and walk away. And as you're sitting there and clapping, and he looks up. Can I help you? You guys were the ones who walked in earlier as I was trying to get everybody's attention, huh?
Yes, we heard you might have a clown problem.
What do you mean a clown problem?
Like a problem clown.
I don't know anything about a clown, no.
Like a clown that's making problems.
The one that lives in the funhouse?
Oh, you mean Swathy. No, he hasn't been around in at least a dozen years. We burned him after he killed those kids.
Oh. What a shame.
Yeah. I mean, you can still go in there. The funhouse is, it's still a mess. But it's fun.
But there are no, homicidal inhabitants.
I've been running it for 12 years, and I haven't seen or heard of any problems with it, no.
This empty audience is not a problem.
I mean, yeah. But shows aren't what they used to be, unfortunately. There's not, everybody already knows about all the exciting shit that's about to happen.
You mean how Swathy's taking the children and probably still killing them even though you burned him at the stake? Because he probably came back and did something crazy?
Huh?
Thus empty audience. The sad cat being whipped for no reason.
I mean, I did it the one time. Yeah. You got me there. Listen, if you want to go in the fun house, I'm telling you, got nothing to worry about in there. Should be fine. You'll have fun. There's still probably a little bit of mess in there, and we don't really keep it clean, but...
Having fun in the fun house. How original. Thank you. And Kutz is gonna walk out looking bored.
Orn is snacking on maggots that have been crawling back and forth beneath her skin.
Okay.
Actually, now that I think of it, well, it's just about lunchtime. Does anyone need a snack? She will offer a nice dangly worm.
I think Lygan would take the first one, but not for herself. I think she turns towards Kutz and kind of like if Kutz still has her monkeys on, I think she tries to like dangle it to see which monkey's gonna jump off to try and get it, and just kind of tosses it in the air for one of the monkeys to jump off of her shoulder and kind of like fall to the ground to get the worm.
Okay. Yeah, roll a presence check for me.
Very talented monkeys.
11.
11. So you toss it into the air, and you watch as the three of them, one jumps from the ground and climbs up onto Kutz's shoulder. The next one climbs up and gets on top of that guy's shoulder. And the third one climbs up and gets on top of that one's shoulder. Now probably about a good, 4 or 5 feet above the ground, give or take. And he jumps and starts to do a front flip. And as he comes back around from that first loop, the worm smacks him right in the face. And he, flails around for a second and then just starts to fall. And Kutz, you manage to reach your hands out and catch him just in time. But the worm is just kind of sitting right on his forehead.
Oh, you poor little thing. It's just I'm trying to take the little worm off and, hold it out for him.
And he's just like...
And he'll eat it. Well, here you go.
Roll a d20 for me.
Ooh. Ooh, 6.
A 6. He goes, and as you put you go to drop the worm, he snatches up and he latches onto your finger for a second, and it hurts, not enough to do damage, but definitely annoying.
I love you so much. No, let go, please. And she's just trying to fry her finger out.
Yeah. It doesn't take much. You say let go. He the monkey realizes that the fingers aren't food, just this worm thing, and he lets go.
the lovely little snack that was.
I'm going to slowly and surely make my way out of the tent and kind of just like as a child would do, almost kind of like peers through the side of the tent, like waiting for everyone to come out, and tries to be creepy at the same time, but like is probably a little bit more creepy than she intends to be.
And as you all follow and you begin to make your way out of the tent, you notice something different in the air. Mist has settled over most of the carnival. The lights giving off this eerie glow. From the distance, you can't see where, what the lights are attached to. You can't even really see the carnival games anymore. But you hear a thump, thump, thump. And then, with those that thwoming on the ground, you hear something heavy clunk to the ground and start being dragged. Out of the mist, you see probably at least 12 feet tall, this giant lumbering creature, a giant clown mask on its face, and in its hand, a giant mallet. Arguably, if you were to put all of Kutz's monkeys together into a nice little barrel about that size, probably throwing in there is his corgi as well. It's a pretty sizable weapon that he's dragging behind him as he does, and he's making his way toward the lot of you.
At that point, Kutz starts giggling maniacally a little bit. Just giggling.
And as you do, you kind of hear the chorus of your monkeys chiming in with the laughter, and it's this kind of like serenade of giggles.
I think Lygan starts to like pull out her tiny doll harpsichord again and starts to like kind of clink a couple very simple notes here and there, just keeping a small low tune. Kind of fits the ambiance of the environment being very creepy.
I am low-key shitting my pants, but I'm hiding it pretty well. I don't know, but you guys know me well enough that you know what's going through my head.
I am excited. Finally, this carnival is gotten cool. This must be the sort of thing that the Order of Nechrubel thought I would encounter when they sent me off into the world.
Lygan, a note. As you begin to play your little box thing, I forget what you called it, you notice that normally it seems to have an effect on, even if it's minuscule, it doesn't seem to have an effect on this, whatever this thing is. Törn, will you do me a favor and roll me a d6, please, as we roll initiative?
6.
6. So you guys will go first. Now, the one thing I did forget to mention is the only lights you do see that you can actually see through the mist is the mouth and the lights surrounding the funhouse. So, as we start initiative, I need all of you to roll a d6 and add your agility modifier to it, please.
2.
2. Who is that? Was that Gotven?
Yeah.
Okay, Törn.
Which one, the 6 or the 20?
You'll roll a d6 and add your agility to it.
3.
3. Okay. Kutz.
7.
And Lygan.
I got a 9.
Oh,
If
wow.
I can learn how to mute myself.
Jeez. And Thuris. Excuse me.
4.
All right. So, Lygan, you're up first. It's roughly about 30, 40 feet away at this point.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull it out right out the bat. I'm going to try to cast Eyes Blind the Mind on it.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a presence check, DC 12, please.
Okay. Shit. That is only an 11.
Only an 11. So you pull out your scroll, and you go to cast it, but you're so still worked up and confused about how your little music box didn't affect it that you misread one of the phrases and the spell fizzles out.
You see her at this point kind of have shaky hands as she tries to like very quickly close the scroll and put the scroll away and kind of assess what she needs to do next, but she's now kind of like looking around at her party members to make sure that they are there and see what they are doing. But that's my turn.
Oh, hang on. One thing I forgot last time with powers. So as your spell fails, and I forgot this with you as well, Törn, you're gonna take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And you become dizzy as you start to shove your scroll away, and you cannot use scrolls for the next. You cannot use scrolls for the next hour.
Okay. Okay.
If you do, it becomes an automatic fumble.
Okay. Cool. Good to know.
So, am I still on cooldown?
Yeah.
The
I'll say
circus.
it's been an hour. It's been an hour. You do take 1 point of damage. I'll say you take a point of damage from that, and your cooldown is up. Because you guys have played several games and talked to a few people and done a few tricks. But Kutz, you are up.
Okay. About how far away is this large creature?
Probably about 30 to 40 feet, so let's say we'll cut it in the middle and say 35.
Oh, amazing. God, how does movement work?
You could have, given that you're a very agile being, you can probably get to him this round.
Okay. Let's do that. I like that. She's gonna move forward to him, taking out her knife. And she wants to kind of like, almost as she's coming up to him, because it's really large, right? Like 12 feet, you said?
Yep.
You just like the knife out and just like slice at his Achilles, or where it would be.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a strength check, please, as you go for an attack.
Thank goodness for a decent roll. 13?
13?
There's a d20, correct?
Yep, a d20 that succeeds. So you can go ahead and roll your damage for your dagger. You don't add anything to it.
No, just 2 points.
2 points. You watch as it slashes across its skin, and you thought you at least had gotten a decent hit on it, but when you look, there's not a mark from your dagger.
Cuts leaves cuts. What is this nonsense? And she kind of stuck there with that movement at that point.
Correct. Yeah. Theros, your turn.
I guess I'm going to also run up and take my flail and like jam it. I guess, well, I'm pretty tall. I would say she's probably my height of like 5'10", so I'm gonna have her like try to like do it so maybe she could hit the abdomen of his, or maybe in the place where it's a guy clown, yeah?
You can't see its face, but the clown, yeah, it looks masculine, yeah.
Or like,
Yeah.
I mean, either whether it's a male or a female, hitting someone in the groin is not fun, so that is where I'm going to try to hit it.
I'll say, yeah. I mean, the best you can assume, not seeing a face, it looks male.
Yeah. Either way.
Go ahead and
Groin,
make a
it's gonna hurt.
strength check or a strength roll for me.
That was cocked because that's how I roll. And that is a 12.
A 12. A 12 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
5 points of damage.
5 points of damage. So you kind of whirl your flail around and uppercut it, and as you do, it smacks into the body of this giant clown, and it doesn't let out any sign of pain whatsoever, but it does seem to have taken the damage. You do see some blood dripping. Not as much damage as you thought. It seems that its skin, or maybe whatever clothing is wearing, is thicker than what you would have imagined it to have been, but he definitely took the blow.
Perfect.
Törn, your turn.
I would like to cast, or attempt to cast, Foul Psychopomp.
Foul Psychopomp. So go ahead and give me a DC 12 presence check.
Oh.
Nope. What'd you get?
Another one?
You got a natural 1.
I did indeed.
So, this is where the fun begins.
Oh no, I don't like fun.
I need you to roll me, because a fumble gets to be rolled on the... Oh, what page is that? Let me find it real quick. The Arcane Catastrophes table. So I need you to roll me a d20, please.
19.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, you fall through Refva into the esoteric dimension of the Cube Violet, a place of mythical obscurity. The walls are smooth, iridescent, and cold. Above, an endless inferno. Roll a d4 for me, please.
4.
4. Looking at the walls of the cube, they seem almost perfect. And as you stare into them, this madness starts to take you. And you feel, with your knowledge that Nechrubel herself has given you, that there is absolutely no way out of this void. At least until somebody else arrives. Törn, please, black your screen for me. Wow. For those of you who are watching, Törn is not dead, however, she is in essentially a pocket dimension where only somebody else who rolls the exact same thing that she did, or somebody over time who does the exact same thing she did with her arcane catastrophe. She will have to defeat that person in her void before she can come back to the material plane.
Dang.
Well then.
So we just see her disappear.
The rest of you watch as she pulls out this scroll and starts reading, and you watch as her eyes fill with terror, this instant terror, as you watch the scroll start to burn up, and then her arms start to burn up as well, and she just disappears. Gotven, your turn.
All right. She's gonna watch Törn just disappear before her eyes. She's gonna shakenly reach behind her back and like pull out this, looks like a staff at first, but then almost like mechanically it builds itself into this giant warhammer that's like blood red and turquoise, very colorful. And she holds it holds her stance. Can she make it to him, you think?
Just barely, yeah. I'll give it to you as well.
Okay, because it's big. I can. So she's just gonna definitely sprint over there and just try to uppercut him with the warhammer.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack roll, please.
Oh no! Oh dear, 6.
A 6. As you swing out, you hit it square in the mask. You kind of jump up and give it a nice little uppercut, but it doesn't seem to dent or do any damage to the mask whatsoever.
Ooh.
Now, you watch as its head up now shifts and looks down toward the one who just hit it in the face.
I laid on my feet and I'm just holding my stance.
Gotven, I need you to make an agility test, please. What'd you get?
15.
15. So you watch as he kind of lifts it up very slowly and boom, brings it down, and the weight almost carrying his forward motion of the swing, but you have enough time to react and you just boom, sidestep out of the way as this hammer creates this crater that is probably at least a good foot deep into the ground.
She just looks at it and looks back at everyone else. That could have been my skull, ladies.
Lygan.
And then she rears back for another hit.
Lygan is now your turn. Oops, sorry.
So Lygan sees everything happening, sees Törn basically get torn away from us, and definitely gets pissed, and she's gonna pull out the only other spell scroll that she has, which is called 9 Violet Signs Unknot the Storm. So I'm gonna try to get angry and send some lightning bolts down to this creature.
Lygan, remember you are still on your hour cooldown. If you use a spell during this time, it is considered a automatic fumble, so you would roll on the Arcane Catastrophe table. So,
Okay.
that being said, that's your warning.
Okay, that's right. I forgot it was an hour, not a minute. Okay, fuck it. I get really pissed off, and I'm going to chuck one of my knives at it.
Okay, go ahead and roll a presence check, please.
Okay. That is a natural 18 on the die, plus 1 is 19.
That hits.
Cool. It does a whopping 2 damage.
2 damage.
Yep. And I scream like a wild child.
It looks like it hit. It does a little less damage than you thought it would, though.
I knew that. I knew that would happen. Oh, shit.
Kutz.
Okay, so also noticing Törn having left after reading the scroll, she's just gonna have her dagger or knife be like, "That's why I don't fuck with magic," and she's just gonna try to stab into him again.
Okay, go for it.
Ooh, it's a natural 20.
It's a natural 20, so go ahead and you'll roll double damage.
Ooh,
And
awesome.
then his armor will be reduced a tier.
Ooh, okay, cool. So that's 5.
5 points of damage, and you watch as you kind of sunder a portion of his armor on his chest, and it looks like you have an opening. And you look inside to where your blade hit, and you see cut after cut after cut after cut, just the scar tissue of multiple, probably dozens, if not, you'd imagine dozens at least in this small section that you can see, if not hundreds across his body.
Oh, okay. You've done this once or twice before, buddy. So have I. This is perfect. That'll be it for her.
Theris, sorry.
So I'm gonna hit him again with hit them again with my flail, but I'm going to hit them where all the scar tissue is because I happen to know, this is personal knowledge, so I'm assuming she would know, that scar tissue is more sensitive than regular, like, no scar tissue.
You could think that.
I'm going to say as a queen, I would know this stuff about, because the best way is to torture my people. I would say I know this.
Yep. All right.
Because I'm also deceitful, so everyone thinks I'm really sweet, but I'm not.
Okay. I'll give that one to you. Go ahead and roll to attack.
And you said strength?
Yes.
That is a 17.
A 17. That will hit.
And that is 3 points of damage.
3 points of damage. You watch as this one does more damage than, does about the same amount of damage as your first strike did. And you're feeling confident now that you're at least doing solid damage to him. However, this creature does not look to be reacting in any sort of way that would discern that he's overly hurt or overly caring about his current condition.
Ooh, okay.
Gotven.
So she's reared back and she's gonna go for another hit straight to his mask.
Go for it.
20, not a natural.
A 20. Go ahead and roll your damage as you can.
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage. You watch as again you kind of uppercut and hit, this time denting a portion of the lower portion of the mask. It seems to be stunned, and it reels back in anger. It drops the hammer in its hand, not really saying much, not letting out any noises whatsoever, but just this silent, almost a silent rage. You watch as its body tenses up from the hit. It's now its turn. It looks back down at you all and begins to reach for the hammer. Slowly, though, his body is kind of reaching and kind of imposing itself as it's reaching down. The lights behind you flicker. The funhouse door, the teeth of this clown start to lower. Slowly. You still have time to get there. But you're not quite sure what it means to be staying here with this creature. Or going in there. Lygan, what would you like to do?
I will look back towards all of the beautiful women in this girl gang. I will kind of like do one of those like, and I'm gonna sprint towards the funhouse doors.
Okay.
And try to bypass this creature
Lygan,
as much as I can.
you start to sprint toward the door, yelling to your comrades as you do. Kutz, what would you like to do?
Screw it, I'm following the little one, and she's gonna sprint after her as well.
Awesome. Theros.
I run and jump on my horse, and I tell Barbarister to run towards the house.
He kind of looks at you, but understanding the circumstance, agrees to work with you, and he begins to move toward the funhouse. And Gotven.
Same Z's. I'm gonna look as soon as he's stunned, and I just turn around for a second and look at everyone sprinting. I'm just gonna do a double take and just start running with my hammer.
Okay. And as the four of you run and on your horse, you get to the gate, or the entryway, as the teeth continue to lower. sliding underneath, somehow Barbister, your horse, kind of gets on its knees and slides under as well, with you on its back, and the mouth slams shut. And as you guys stand in the darkness on the other end of this funhouse, now in the entryway of it, we're gonna go take a break. Stick around. We're gonna take a quick. We're gonna take probably about a 10 to 15 minute break. We'll one of us will be in chat to tell y'all when we're coming back. Until then, yeah, look forward to coming back, y'all. welcome back. As the four of you, Lygan, Theris, Kutz, and Gotven, enter this fun house. The door slamming shut behind you, darkness surrounding you. What would you like to do?
Is there a light switch anywhere?
You look around and fumble around in the darkness, placing your hand against the wall. There does not seem to be any sort of light switch, no. Roll one of you. Let's see. I'll say Theris. Roll a D100 for me. I'm gonna do something I do for some of my D&D games.
Oh, I'm gonna have a lantern.
Oh, well, never mind. Don't roll a D100 then. I didn't think anybody had any sort of lighting implements.
Oh, I do. I pull out a lantern and I go ahead and I light the oil.
Okay. You light the oil, and I believe it's a D6 plus
7
your
hours.
7 hours. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You have 7 hours worth of oil. As you light it up in front of you, the immediate vicinity starts to illuminate, and you notice in front of you, you see yourself, Gotven. You all see yourselves, as you are now staring into what looks to be a series of mirrors. A maze of sorts.
I'll admit I'm a little terrified.
I'm beautiful. Has no one noticed that? Not important. Anyway, where do we go from here?
I'm like, put my hand out and I'm trying to tap on or like touch down the glass to see if there's any opening.
Okay. Go ahead. You tap and you tap some glass and you move your way down, and finally you get to a slit that's probably about 5 feet wide, enough for you guys to go single file.
I think I found an exit here, or an entryway, something. Someone else want to go first though, because it ain't gonna be me.
Oh, by the
Lygan
way,
just kind of scoots up. She's just gonna go.
so
Courage points to this one.
what's the marching order, and how are you going about this?
If Gotven has the lantern, I will go like kind of kitty corner to them, but have them kind of like on my flank so that it lights up the area for me to go ahead of her. But I want to keep like, I don't want to be one in front of the other, especially with the light. I don't want to block any light. So I want to be off to her side wherever she is standing.
Yeah, I'll stand pretty much behind you, but like with the lantern over you. Since
Cool.
you're so short.
Okay.
I'm tiny.
So Lygan, followed by Gotven, who's bringing up, or who's after Gotven?
Kutz will go last. So let the queen go before her.
And Theros will go third, followed by Kutz.
The horse.
The horse,
yeah.
Barbaster,
Oh, there's a horse.
Barbaster looks at you and says, "These games are belittling to one of an intellect such as myself. I will not be participating."
But did you see the thing outside?
Yes.
Babies are even crying and screaming. They're so scared.
And he
Sting?
looks and he's, "Fair point. I will follow you." And he's going to find a way to squeeze into this 5-foot mirror hall or mirror maze. I don't know if he'll be able to do it fully, but we'll see how far he can go. Let's before he gets stuck. So, Lygan, what I need from each of you since you are all walking separately through this maze, though in a single file, is a presence roll, please.
Eight.
11.
11. Gotven.
9.
9. Theros.
13.
13. So, Lygan, as you continue forward, feeling out with your hand, you can't help but notice, and you turn one way for a second, and then you turn back forward, and you bump into the glass, and Gotven, you behind her, kind of bump into her. Kutz, you could have sworn that there's a path to your right, and you turn to your right and bump into the mirror there before straightening yourself out and getting behind Gotven, getting back behind Gotven, pulling the little clump apart between her and Lygan. Theros, you seeing all of this before you, you were third, my bad. Seeing Gotven and Lygan, you stop and realize that there's a path. If Lygan would have turned to the right, she would have continued on. And then Kutz, you bump into Theros. My apology. But you all kind of stare for a second at your reflections, looking around as Lygan, you turn that corner and continue to move very carefully through the maze. Lygan, on the far end, maybe about... It's hard to tell distance because of the maze and the way the mirrors work against each other. But you see yourself staring at you, not moving. Your legs are moving, but it is just sitting there, watching you.
It's watching me, or is it watching... Who is it watching?
It looks to be... Your reflection seems to be staring at you as you're moving forward.
Oh. I do kind of like almost like a parent trap where I kind of just start doing like motions. Is it mimicking my motions?
No. It's standing as stiff as a board. Not a board, the pale one. A space board.
I'm going to stop and start to play with my hair and kind of like lean back towards Gotven.
Do you see her too?
Do I?
Yes, you see Lygan's reflection standing there, arms kind of at its side. But you also notice, as you kind of are looking about you, that to your left, in the mirror directly next to you, is your reflection. Standing, staring, unmoving.
Yes.
That's not me though.
This one next to me is not me either. Can I just elbow smash it? See if I can shatter the mirror.
Give me a strength check.
16?
16. You elbow it quick, and you watch as it it gets this crack before as it shatters. You hear it as another image of you appears in another mirror. It seems to just be a solid wall behind the mirror as well. It's not like you can walk through it or there's a separate room on the opposite side.
Should we continue?
Might as well.
And I'll just keep walking,
Okay.
kind of like eyeing that reflection, but
Okay.
walking towards it anyways.
As you continue into this chamber, you begin to smell... Smells like burnt popcorn. And it's not like the buttery, like it's that like you left the bag in too long and everything's on fire, and it's just that it goes out throughout your entire house and lingers. It's one of the more pleasant smells you've smelled, Lygan, but it's still an annoyance. Everybody give me another presence check, please. 17. That was for Kutz. Lygan.
We all eating it?
Yes, everybody. Yes.
Okay.
Since you're all walking separately, you all have to roll separately. 10. Gotven.
A dirty 20.
Okay. And Theros.
What does a 2 do for you?
Gotcha. So, Kutz, you managed to make your way past Theros. She's slowing down a bit. You can't tell if it's because she wants to hang out with her horse, who's in the back, but whatever. And you slink past her and continue on your way. Gotven, you move past Lygan as Lygan slams against another mirror. Kutz, this time you do notice your reflection now, hearing the conversation of Lygan and Gotven, and you continue forward, your reflection kind of matching your pace, not walking with you, but just kind of gliding from mirror to mirror with you. As you guys are all walking, your image or your reflections are mirroring you as well. As you turn left and right. Theros, you bump into a wall, and you get spun around for a second. And you thought that your friends went right. No, they went left. And you turn left, getting disoriented and lost alone in this mirror maze. Until finally you come face to face with not one reflection of you, but maybe about 5, 10. As the mirrors are around you and you are alone in this chamber.
Hello?
Hello?
And the reflections aren't moving.
You watch as it says hello, and the mouth does move. Not in mimicry of yours, but speaking out on its own. In its own time.
All right. I am not the brightest, but I know how a reflection works. And you are clearly not a reflection. What can I do for you?
Just so you all know, I rolled the highest that I could on a reaction roll for this creature. So it looks at you and goes, "You're turned around? Your friends are that way," and you watch as it points into the distance towards the way that you came in. Instead of going left, you should have went right.
Oh, and then I curtsy?
And your reflection curtsies back in mimicry.
Thank you. And then I head back.
As you are traveling and following and eventually starting to catch up, you hear from behind you, be warned. The others may not be as friendly as I am.
Oh, okay.
As you eventually get back with the rest of your party, bumping into Kutz and Gotven as you do, the rest of you, not seeming to notice Theros' brief absence, what would you like to do?
Kutz is going to go up to the reflection that she sees of herself, kind of having her knife out, and she's just going to start dragging it along the mirror.
Okay. You give it enough pressure where it gives that little kind of crease line through. Not seeming to have a whole lot of an effect, but you watch as the image of you starts to kind of open its mouth like it's in pain, but not really. Like it looks like it hurts, or at least is making some sort of noise that's annoying it. Okay. And you watch as it quickly retreats. And as you're doing that in the silence there and the lack of a reflection, you see another image, a face. Törn? And as Törn begins to walk closer, Törn, you watch as this other form leaves this mirror, this edge against the wall, and from behind you, another figure pops into your cube. An old woman, hunched over, hooded and cloaked, a walking stick in her hand. Realizing that this is your chance to get out of this cube, you rush toward the one side where Kutz's hand is placed against the glass. Reaching out, Kutz, you can feel Törn's hand grab onto you. What would you like to do?
Kutz is going to pull.
You pull Törn, and her body flies through this glass. You turn around quickly as the woman kind of runs behind you. No! And like runs up and tries to pat before the veil of the violet or of the cube disappears.
Okay, first of all, magic shit. Does this? Are you okay?
I turn around. What the hell just happened?
Well, how long has it been?
30 years. Oh.
It's been
Yep, nope, 30 years, that makes sense. You all are looking a little rough.
Yeah, thank you. That's very nice of you. Yes, missed you so much. Thank you.
Well, finally, gotten back out. Let's get to it.
as you continue.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Kutz.
Oh, Kutz was just about to say, okay, it's great. There's reflections. They move. They don't move with us. It's not at all fun. This is a very misleading funhouse.
And there's a horse back there.
I thought the horse was intelligent. Horse, why did you come into this not fun house?
That giant thing was trying to kill us. Theros got on my back and told me to run, so I did. And then when I told her I should just stay at the door, she said, no, come with.
We are both long-suffering animals, aren't we? Well, nothing to it but to do it.
And so you begin to continue on. Lygan still taking the lead. Are you still all separated and walking one by one? Yeah? Okay. Everybody roll a presence check for me. Lygan, are you doing anything in particular while you're walking?
At this point, uncomfortably, but trudging on, I will take out the harpsichord and just start playing a little diddly, just in case anything's around us again.
And that adds a D4.
Plus 4, or a D4, yes,
Okay,
a D4.
so go ahead and roll that D4 for me.
Okay, so I got a 14 on my presence, and with the D4, I rolled a 2.
So, I shit you not, I rolled the 12 for Theros, and I just rolled the second 12 for you guys. So, you guys don't even need to worry about finding your way through the maze, because your reflections start to point out the directions to go, standing in front of you and pointing the correct direction to turn and things like that, until you come to a singular door with no mirror on it, so it just looks like a straight up door.
Finally, something normal.
Helpful.
Well, I mean, it's just a door, so.
And I'm just gonna go and push it or open the hatch or however the door opens. I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay. So you open the door, and you're immediately met with the smell of wood-fired apples. It's welcoming. It's warm. You all step into this singular hallway, or this hallway maybe about 5-ish feet in width. It extends about another 15 or 20 feet in front of you before it kind of tees off. To your left, there's a door. And to the right, there's a door. On the wall to either side of you.
And I'm just gonna kind of tiptoe in so that everybody can fit behind me instead of just kind of sitting in the kind of immediate vicinity. Is there anything else that catches my eye? Am I picking up any sort of weird vibes?
Not really, no, not here.
Interesting.
There's
Okay.
nothing that gives off the raw power comparable to the Drew or the Rock Priest or the Bowerman. No.
Cool.
You do hear slight music and some chuckling coming from the right room, though.
Is this area lit?
This area is not lit, no.
Oh, it is.
It still is because of your lantern, but
Okay.
yes.
Now that I'm back.
What would you like to do? The hallway in front of you does tee off, so you could potentially go and see what's at the end of the hallway and look either way before making your decision to.
Yeah, I think I would start moving forward and then say just kind of beckoning back to the group, just be like,
I'll check the left if someone wants to check the right.
Sounds good. I'll go up and check the right.
Okay.
I'll stand in the middle and hopefully the light spreads enough for both of them.
So Lygan, you're checking the left, and Kutz, you're checking the right. So Lygan, as you open up the left door, you're immediately met with the smell of mothballs. Just a stale air. And you look in and you see puppets and stuffed animals laying about the ground. Kutz.
I close the door. I was gonna say I immediately close the door and turn to the light and await to see what's on the other side, but I shut the door.
Kutz, as you open up your door, you hear the sound almost like a series of like a small chorus, a small wind section of a band. As before you see a small little stage set up with the curtains drawn and some lights over the top. As the door opens, the curtains begin to pull open, and you watch as two puppets pop up. And one of them looking like a dragon, the other looking like some sort of knight. And like, oh, I'm gonna defeat you, evil dragon. I'm gonna get you. And starts fighting between the dragon and you watch as a breath of flame does come out of an actual fire comes from the dragon's mouth, and you watch as the puppet that is the knight kind of ducks and dives and rolls before stabbing a sword into the heart of the dragon. The dragon goes, you got me, and falls. They both fall off the stage, and the curtain closes.
Great show. 5 stars. Definitely well rated.
Thank you.
See anything? See anything down there? Who is that? That's who is that?
Oh, what was his name? I'm called Wakta.
What the fuck are you doing back there?
I'm performing my shows. What's it look like?
Oh, yes, it's a fun house. Never mind. As you were.
Do you want to stay for a show?
Well, I look back to Theris. Is she's still with us, right?
Theris is still with you, yes.
Okay, she found her way back.
I mean, I guess. Do you want to stay?
I walk towards that room and I try to look around, like being a snoop.
Okay.
What do I see in that room?
Looking around, go ahead and roll me a d6.
2?
Ooh, a 2. In the back corner, behind the stage, tucked into the corner, you see something glint. Looks like a ruby ring of sorts. This red kind of flashiness coming from what little light is in the room.
I'm gonna walk towards it and hold my lantern over it so I can get a better view of it.
Yeah, you see a ruby ring with a hand kind of clasped underneath it, so it's sitting in the palms of both the hands. Made of gold. The ring portions.
Everything in her gut tells her to just grab it. But she has seen the Aladdin movie.
Yes, the great stories of Aladdin.
Yes. She's gonna ask the puppeteer what this is. What's his name?
Wakta?
Wakta.
Yes.
What is this right here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like looking. There's no back to the box, or there's like a back to the box. Like he's inside of a legit box that.
Oh.
Like it doesn't look like there's any door on the back side of it to tell him how to get out or in or out. Or for him to come in and out.
It's a giant jewel of some kind in this corner here. It seems to be glinting. You didn't notice it before? Don't you work here?
I do. I just do the puppet shows.
I'm just gonna grab it and shove it in my purse then.
Well, hello there. Is this a puppet show?
Yeah, it is. I do numerous different shows to kids and people who come through the funhouse.
Do you make these your own? You make these by yourself?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Interesting. Do you ever use found materials?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, just things you find lying around. Sticks, leaves, teeth.
You'd have to check my storage closet, which is the other door on the other side of the chamber.
Your
Yes.
storage closet.
Yes.
That's where you have your supplies.
I have a few of my other puppets in there. And yeah, some other things in there that I use to create some of the knickknacks and doodads that I use on my shows, yeah.
Here's my card. I do make teeth jewelry custom if you're interested. And I'm always looking for new customers. So
Do you watch...
I will be taking a look at your closet there. Thank you.
You watch as the puppet pops out, the night one, and bows, and then grabs the card and comes back in. You guys are probably looking to go get out of here, aren't you? Maybe? I don't know. Or are you... what are you doing? I don't know why you're here. I'm guessing you're doing the fun
What are
house.
you doing?
Me? I sit here and just do the puppet shows. And then...
And they pay.
What? No. Not really. No.
So this is a passion project.
More like I got into this stage box, and then I couldn't get out, and then, yeah, I'm here. And I do my shows.
Well, you could follow us out if you'd like.
I don't know how to get out of this thing.
We're not having a great time here, so I think we're going to stage a rebellion.
Okay. I mean, if you can find a way to get me out, I'm more than happy to join you. I know that I do...
Just follow the horse.
The what?
Oh, the horse. He's got a top hat on, can't miss him.
Okay. What I do know is that the key is in... To get out of this area is in the other room with all my dolls. So if you want to get out of here and get out of this section of the funhouse, you need the key. I can give you that much information.
Hi, maybe I should have been looking for a key all this time. I was just waiting for old ladies to fight.
And the
So I'm
curtains,
gonna peer.
the curtains open up, and you watch as a bard, a little guy with a lute, pops out. He starts singing a song, and it's like not great at the best. There are parts when he tries to do some of the high notes, and it's just constant cracking and sounds like it could shatter glass, like in the bad way.
So
Well.
the key's in the other door, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A creepy door.
So I want to go look for it, but what I want to do first is blow my horn and then pick myself as the creature that gets to make my next non-combat test an automatic success to find the key.
Okay, so you do.
And I play a jazzy tune of Mamma Mia by ABBA.
All right. So you start to play Mamma Mia on your horn as you open the door and you enter, and you start shuffling around and looking around the room. Törn, you follow her, instinctually looking for teeth. You do find a handful, and Gotven, you do pick up your ring and store it and move on. The rest of you follow into the room. You see the key sticking out from underneath one of the handholds for one of the puppets.
I grab it.
As you do, you go and grab the key. However, before you can grab the key, I need you to make an agility test for me.
Ooh, no. So it's a 1.
Okay.
Not naturally, but that's just what it ends up as because I have a negative 1.
I will remind you, because I've been doing a poor job of reminding people that they have these. You do have omens that you could use if you so wish.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I guess I'll use it.
Okay. That means you can go ahead and re-roll. Or you can just fail instead of super failing.
I'll re-roll and press my luck.
Okay, go for it.
That is a 15.
A 15. Fortunately, even with a 15, the DC is slightly not high enough, and you watch as you go to grab the key. This puppet just slightly has the jump on you, and you watch as it cups over your hand. You feel the bottom end kind of constrict around your wrist. I need Gotven to roll initiative for me. So roll a d6 for me.
I got a 6.
6. All right, go ahead and you guys roll initiative for me. So a D6 plus your agility. And as of right now, it looks like it's just this singular puppet. Törn got a 2, it looks like. 5 for Lygan. Anything higher than a 6 for Kutz. 3 for Turris. And Gotven, what'd you get? Oh. Hello? You there, Anne?
Oh, she's back.
There you go.
Yes.
What'd you get, or what'd you get for your agility? A D6 plus your agility modifier.
2.
2.
Oh,
Okay. So you
sorry, agility. I'm a 1 then, not a 2.
Gotcha.
Never being present.
Gotcha. Okay. So, Kutz, you're up first. What would you like to do?
Awesome. Kutz would like to be able to move next to Theris.
Yeah, you can move up next to Theris. There's plenty of room for that.
Okay, awesome. Is there still like this puppet that I'm seeing kind of enveloping her hand? Does it extend past where I assume her hand ends?
Yeah, it extends to probably about an inch or 2 below her wrist, and then like obviously up and over on the top.
Understood. So Kutz is gonna kind of run up, taking out her knife, and she wants to try to just pin down the puppets if possible, trying not to hit Theris.
Okay, go ahead and roll a strength check for me.
Okay. 12.
A 12, I believe that hits. Let me check one thing real quick. Oh, cool, I have it up right. A 12 will hit. Go ahead and roll your attack or your damage.
Ooh, okay, so that's 2 points.
2 points. Alright, so you deal 2 points to this puppet, and it stabs down, and you kind of stab it into the ground. You don't hit, or you don't think you hit Theros' hand, but you do substantial damage, or at least a decent amount of damage to this puppet creature.
Awesome. And that'll be it.
Lygan, what would you like to do?
Okay, I would like to... I'm also gonna come around with one of my knives and try to do pretty much the same thing, but I'm trying to more so get it off. I want to try to get it off of Theris as much as possible, like actually like get her removed from it. So I don't know if that's like me pulling her away or pulling the actual puppet.
Okay, yeah, either way, go ahead and give me a strength check.
Okay. Oh god, I'm not good at this, but this is fine. Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Yeah, so you manage to, with a little bit of effort and Theros, you feel the skin start to peel back a little off your hands as you as your hand is pulled out of this puppet. Go ahead and give me a toughness check to see if you can hold on to the key while your hand is being pulled through this excruciating pain.
That's a 6.
A 6. So as
I give her an omen.
you do give her an omen, go ahead and re-roll that.
Thank you. Here's to hoping. Come on, guys. Help a girl out. No, that didn't do much better. That is a 9.
A 9. So as you pull your hand out, you do let go of the key. The key is inside this puppet still, but you do not take any damage from the from your hand being pulled out. It is now your turn.
Great. I'm gonna take, I guess, that same hand, and I'm gonna. Is the puppet like? Can I see the whole puppet, or is it just?
No,
its arm?
you can see the whole puppet. At this point, it's kind of pinned to the ground by one of Kutz's daggers.
Great. And it's holding the key?
No, the key. So the key is inside of the like handhole where you put your hand to like move to work the puppet.
Got it. I'm going to try to grab the key again.
Okay. Go ahead and make another agility test to grab onto the key. Actually, no. Make this one strength. Make this one strength.
I'm gonna try a different D20. Maybe you'll. That's a natural 20.
Natural 20. So you reach in and dive in and you grab the key and you start to pull out and you watch as it's starting to close, but you manage to pull the key out, no problem. That's your turn. Gotven, what would you like to do?
The puppet's still there, right?
Yes, and it is kind of moving. It's moving. It doesn't say anything, but it's looking like it's ready to swing on something. It does have this kind of what looks like a plastic shiv in its hand.
Okay. Well, it creeps me out a lot, so I think my first reaction is going to be trying to smash my lantern on it and set it on fire with
Okay.
the oil.
With the oil, you would lose the remaining time of your lantern if you do so. And you don't know how dark the rest of this thing is. I'm just saying that.
Oh, hold on, you cut out.
I was saying the lantern. If the lantern is smashed, you may lose some time off of your oil, if not all of your oil.
That's all right.
All right, go for it. Go ahead and make a strength roll.
Okay.
And then at the same time, roll a D100 for me. How do we do?
Six was my roll, and I rolled a 90 for the D100.
A 90. So you go to smash down onto this puppet. You miss. However, you manage to move your arm in such a way where none of the oil spills out, so you don't lose any of the remaining time, or any of the time currently in the oil.
Wow, that's lucky.
And I think that's all you can do at the moment. So,
Oh, I do nothing?
Törn.
Okay. Well, that's my turn.
what would you like to do?
If I try to hit this thing, it's a toughness roll, right? Like if I try to hit it,
if you were to try to hit it with like a dagger or a sword or something, it would be a strength roll.
or a femur.
Or a femur, yes, correct, a strength roll.
Oh, okay. Well, I do have a femur, which I hid in my cloak to get into the circus. So I would like to take it and take a swing at this little puppet friend.
Go for it.
20?
Nat 20 or a dirty 20?
No. Do I roll a d20?
Oh, yes, a D20 plus your strength. You got really excited for it.
It's a 10.
A 10. A 10 will miss. You swing out, and the puppet the back end of it just manages to dodge out of the way, even though the front end is still pinned to the dagger. And it's now the puppet's turn, and you watch as this puppet turns, and it's going to make an attack on you, Kutz. At the same time, though, you watch as another puppet pops up and starts to make its way towards you. And then you watch as this rocking chair in the back corner starts to move. And sitting on the rocking chair, not a puppet, but a doll. Its pale face, almost porcelain-like, staring into what you all feel is your very soul. Lygan, make a presence check for me.
The 10.
10. You would know that this is what's called Lady Porcelain. that has the ability to suck the soul out of any individual that it looks into the eyes of. You haven't. You're currently kind of glancing. You see it. All of you see it out of your peripheral, not quite looking at it yet. But if any one of you turns, it could be your own undoing. So the one against you, Kutz. I need you to make an agility test, please.
Okay. I can use an omen to re-roll, correct?
Correct.
I'm gonna do that in some of my omens. That's better. Okay. And it's an agility.
An agility.
19.
19. It goes to swing out with this plastic shiv toward you, and you dodge out of the way, managing to kind of just deflect it off your armor. The other one is going to run toward you, Theros, with the key, so I need you to make an agility test, please.
$13.
13. You also succeed. So this one kind of goes to jump and run at your throat and stab it with a similar looking shiv, but you manage to kind of grab it midair and kind of hold it in the air and throw it away, kind of Chucky style. The Lady Porcelain is going to stand up and make its way toward you, Lygan, and I need you to make an agility test as well.
Did you say me, Lygan?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of cut out. I want to make sure. An agility test? That is an 8.
An 8. Are you wearing armor?
Light armor.
All right. Go ahead and roll a d4, or unless you have a coin, a d2. And then on a 3 will be a 1, and a 4 will be a 2.
I got a 2.
So you take no damage. As her hands, which look almost claw-like at the fingernails, swipe out at you and scrape across your armor being able to block the damage as it comes in. But it's now staring at your feet, and you watch as it starts just kind of out of your peripheral still. You can see its head kind of pop up and look at you.
Can I avoid it? Do I have to avoid it now? Can I activate?
On your turn, you can choose to avert your gaze.
Okay.
It's similar to like what a basilisk would be in mechanic wise. Kutz, it's your turn.
Okay, so I still have these 2 little puppets in front of me, correct?
Correct.
Okay, little fucker, just again. Stab again.
Awesome, go for it.
Woo-hoo.
Strength check for that.
Oh, that's just 11 then.
An 11 unfortunately misses. So you try to stab into it again, and this time pulling your dagger out, and manages to dart away quickly as the dagger comes down. Lygan, it's your turn.
So I would like to avert my gaze, and as I do so, once again, I would like to try my 9 violet signs on Not the Storm on this doll. So I want to try to strike it with lightning.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a presence check. I will say it's been enough time. You guys, enough time has passed where...
I think, yeah, I was going to ask if it was close because it feels like it would be.
Yeah, enough time has passed.
I got a natural 20.
A natural 20. So you're going to end up... Hang on. What's the effect of this spell?
So I roll a d2 for how many lightning bolts, and then per lightning bolt, it's just a d6 worth of damage.
Okay, so what you'll do is you'll roll double on the d2. So essentially roll a d4.
Okay, so a d4. I got a 3.
So you can hit all 3 of these creatures.
Okay, so then I roll a 2d6.
And since it's a crit, you can roll 2d6. Yeah.
Okay. I got 4 damage.
4 damage. So you watch as both the puppets burst into flame as the lightning bolts strike them. This Lady Porcelain gets hit, and it looks like it does a considerable... Hang on, let me double check how much health she is. I had the page up, and for some reason I closed my book. Yeah, for some reason, it looks like it does a good amount of damage, but she is still up.
Cool.
She's still
And
standing.
I think what it looks like is like I like close my eyes and I'm like, no! And I like whip out my scroll and like hold it really close to my face so she can't like look at my eyes. And then kind of like say it really quickly and back away because I know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then like shut it really quickly as I like look up and realize that it actually worked.
Awesome. After Lygan is Theros. What would you like to do?
Do I know not to look this puppet in the eye?
Probably not.
Okay. It's bad because I know what happens, but she doesn't know what happens.
Yeah, Lygan
Oh,
didn't.
man.
Lygan didn't send out any vibes to the party about what this was.
So I guess I'm gonna take my flail because that's what I would do, and I'm gonna try to hit her with it.
Okay, go ahead and make a. Before you can roll, I need you to make a presence check for me, please. As you stare into the very soul of this.
All right. Well, it was
Porcelain
really nice
being.
knowing all. So that would be a 17.
17. So as you stare into the eyes of this creature, you are stunned for the next 2 rounds.
Cool.
What happens after those 2 rounds, you're not quite sure.
Super.
Gotven, what would you like to do?
The doll that I tried to set on fire is still up.
The doll that you tried to set on fire is burst into flames. You imagine you did something. You helped. It's on fire, and you're the only one who knows fire, or has fire.
I take the hammer like whack-a-mole and just and I just try to hit it with it.
Try to hit the one that's on the two puppets are both dead, for lack of better words. The only one remaining is the Lady Porcelain, which is behind you on Lygan, currently.
Oh, gotcha. Well,
I'm sorry. You got a presence. I'm sorry. You got a presence 17. I brain farted. That was a success. So you're not stunned and you can't attack. Go ahead and roll your strength roll. I'm sorry. It took me a second. I was like, wait, she said 17, and then it all kind of clicked at once. That's my bad.
It's all good. I was like, dang, she's strong.
No, it's not that high.
Attack-wise, I got a 3.
For your strength roll?
Yeah.
So you do miss. But you're not stunned, so that's good.
I'll take missing and not stunned over stunned. So.
Yes, please.
Gotven, it is your turn now. I apologize.
Well, I'm gonna turn towards the porcelain one instead and whack-a-mole her right on top of the head.
All right, go ahead and give me a presence check before you whack-a-mole the porcelain doll.
Okay. 17.
17. You also pass, so go ahead and give me a strength roll for your Warhammer attack.
Oh, shit. I'm gonna use an omen and re-roll this.
An omen, you can also... Let me double check some of the things you can do with omens. You can deal maximum damage with one of your attacks, reroll a die, lower damage dealt to you, neutralize a crit or fumble, or lower one test DR by 4.
Okay, I'm gonna re-roll this then.
For some reason I thought you could auto crit, but that's not a thing.
Nope. That's not much better. 7.
A 7, no, unfortunately you swing out and you miss.
Alright. I'm gonna rear back and try to hit again on my next turn.
Awesome. Torn.
I'm gonna go for this nice porcelain face with my trusty femur.
With your trusty femur, go for it.
That's an 18.
An 18, that will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Sick. 2 damage.
2 damage. So you hit it,
It's just
and it looks like it took all of that damage. So you watch as the face starts to crack a little. Now between the lightning, the bits of its cloth are on fire, and the face is now cracking slightly. It is now its turn. It's going to continue its attack on Lygan. Oh, why am I rolling? I don't roll for this. Lygan, give me an agility test, please.
Okay. That's a natural 20.
So you, with a natural...
But -2.
But it's a natural 20. So with a natural 20, you get a free attack on this creature.
Okay, so I imagine it tries to like lunge towards me or something.
Correct.
And I'm just going to immediately from like my belt holster, like, because I have like this weird corset bone thing, which I use as my light armor just for fashion's sake. But affixed to it, I have like a little belt with some knives. I'm going to a quick draw, just take one of them and kind of backhand it into this doll.
Go for
wherever I can find purchase.
Awesome. Make a strength roll for me, please.
Oh shit, that is a 6.
6. As it flies toward you, you miss. You stab out and you miss, but it didn't attack you and it did not hit. You managed to dodge out of the way as it falls to the ground.
Sweet.
Kutz. It's your turn.
Oh, yay, creepy little doll. I love those so much. I want to kick its head. What do I roll for a kick?
That'll be a strength test. So go ahead and roll a strength test for me.
16?
A 16 will hit. Go ahead and roll. So this would be considered an unarmed strike, so it'd be a D2 instead of a D4.
D2, okay. Oh, a 1.
A 1. Let me see. Yeah, it negates the damage, unfortunately. You watch as it kind of... You kick it and it flies, but the little bit of fortitude that it has, it's able to deflect the damage because of its armor. Lygan, your turn.
Alright, since I'm still kind of engaged, I'm just gonna try again to stab it with my knife that's in my hand.
Yeah, go for it. Averting your gaze.
Yes.
Okay.
Like, kind of doing, like, one of those, like, trying to, like, accurately figure out where to stab, but not looking where I'm trying to stab. I only got a 13.
A 13 will hit, so go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. That's a D4. It takes another 3 points of damage.
3 points. Its armor does reduce it by 1, so it takes 2, but it is looking significantly hurt at this point. It's these cracks becoming more and more obvious. It's going to... Oh, does it have him around? Let me see. It does not have him around, so it won't try to make a morale check. So, after Lygan is Theras.
Oh, can I scream on my turn to not look at its eyes?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Don't look at its eyes!
So now getting that knowledge, I'm going to not look at it in its eyes, but I'm going to try to take my flail and slam it into its face.
Go for it. Make a strength roll for me, please.
18.
18 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. It'll reduce the damage by 2 due to its armor. However, as you slam your flail, you bring your flail down and smack it onto the skull of this porcelain doll. You watch as it just shatters, the remnants of it skittering across the floor. You are now out of combat.
Solid.
What would you like to do? You do have the key now.
I would like to look for teeth.
Yeah, looking around, you do manage to see some teeth, and you also see... Roll a D4 for me.
3.
3. you find, looking around, you see what you thought was a stuffed goose. However, upon closer inspection, as you go to grab some of the teeth, you hear and it tries to like bite at you. Looking at it closer, it looks like this goose is tied to kind of tied to this helmet. Point of order. Point of order, so you don't try to untie the goose.
Like the horrible goose is tied to a helmet?
Yes.
I untie the goose.
You go to attempt to untie the goose, but because the infusion of the curse that is upon this helm, or the magic that's upon this helm, the knot is untieable.
Poor thing.
Oh, well, aren't you just in a bind? I will take the goose with me.
Okay, you
and
take.
therefore the first helm.
So you can take the helmet. A little bit about the helmet. It's a pissed off goose tied to a helmet. While wearing this helm, the enraged honking goose strikes fear into the hearts of your foes. So you add a +2 to all of your morale checks, and the goose must be fed once per day or it will starve, and the wearer cannot be stealthy due to all of the honking.
Well, that is no worry at all. I pluck a maggot out of my rotting flesh and feed it to the goose. Here you go.
Gobbles it up. The fact that the goose was... Yeah.
I'm just standing there with the lantern, like, slow blinking at this goose helmet.
I'm not going to wear the goose helmet because that seems rude, but I will carry it with me.
Okay.
You should put it out of its misery, if you ask me.
I'm a Lygan.
Just a quick, just 1, 2, just...
Now, don't you listen to her. She doesn't mean it, really. She's just mad that she couldn't win that carnival game.
That's fucking true.
Feeling herself again, Törn takes her furs out of her bag and walks out the door.
So with the key, you go to the hall, the end of the hall, and you look to the right, and it's a dead end. You look to the left, and on the right-hand side of the hall of that turn, on that right-hand wall going down, you see a door with a padlock on it.
I go,
You twist.
and I try to unlock the door.
You put the key in, unlock it, you hear the as the lock kind of pops. You throw the padlock off, open up the door. And what you see in this next room is the floor shifting. Moving kind of up and down at different intervals.
This is going to be a hard one for the horse.
Honestly, no. He's probably going to do better than we are.
You say so, Your Majesty.
Trust me.
So, who would like to go first?
Am I still at the helm? Am I still leading?
At this point, Theros is the first at the door, but if anybody who wants to go through can go through.
Anybody?
I'll go.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an agility test, please.
13.
13. You go and you get maybe about, and so from what you can see, the hallway goes about 10 feet and then curves to the right, and you lose vision there. You go those 10 feet and you feel your ankle buckle a little. You manage to succeed that first portion, just barely. But you have a feeling that messing up on this could really do some damage to your ankles. It can slow you down quite a bit.
glance over my shoulder. Hope you all have strong ankles. This is gonna be fun. And she'll continue moving forward.
Okay. So as you continue moving forward, anybody else who wishes to follow, go ahead and make me an agility check, please. If you're continuing Kutz, you can make an agility check as well.
Did I come back from my crystal prison at full health, or still at the same damage I was before?
Still at the same damage that you were before.
Alright, well, in that case, I would like to take a dose of life elixir before I attempt this.
Sure, go for it. And life elixir, I believe, is a D4? Or
D6 of healing.
D6.
Yeah.
Awesome. Excuse me.
And that's 5, but I was only down 2, so does that bring me back up to full?
It brings you back up to full. Yep. Yeah, you can't go over. Awesome. Lygan, how'd you do?
I got a 16.
16, good. You make it to that first corner. Gotven, how'd you do?
I got a 3.
A 3. So you immediately kind of step through the door, and you are judging. You're like, oh, that part's up, and you go to step up high, and as your foot's coming down, it goes down with your foot as it's shifting, and you just fall face forward. You take 1 point of damage from the fall. Your ankle is pretty messed up, and your speed is speed isn't really a thing, but your ankle is pretty twisted up and kind of sore, and you're going to be limping through a little bit of the rest of this, at least this portion. Kutz, how'd you do on your second test?
14.
14. So you turn that corner, you go maybe about 10 more feet before it turns right again, and at the end of that hallway, or the end of this about 15-foot straightaway that you have left, you see another door. Go ahead and make a presence check for me.
7.
7? Alright. Awesome. You have one more check to get to the door. Theros, how'd you do?
I got a 13.
13. You managed to get to that first point without harming yourself, hopping from one spot to the next with ease. And Törn, how did you do?
15.
15. Yeah, you too. Kind of following Theros' lead, you hop from one to the next, to the next, to the next. Lygan, Theros, and Törn. Go ahead and give me presence checks, please.
Nineteen.
19. 8. And Theros.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Alright. So, scanning the area as you're moving with the light kind of out and splayed before you on the ground because of Gotven laying there, and you look around and you notice Lygan. You see, go ahead and roll a d6 for me, please.
Okay. 2.
2. You see a piece of paper on the ground, and you go to pick it up, and it's about half there. Parts of it are torn, but you see an X.
I see a what?
An X. And there's, it looks to be some sort of map.
Found a map. And I
I'm just
show it to
like-
everybody.
I'm like viciously rubbing my ankle, like.
Can I decipher what the map means? Like what the X is pointing to, or what it's trying to tell me?
So given the fact that you're in a room that's constantly shifting, you'd imagine that, and the fact that you'd have to look at other maps to reference it, you're probably looking at a project that you could do in your downtime.
You cut out sort of
Oh, I apologize. Can you hear me now? Am I good?
towards just towards the end,
Gotcha.
the last couple words.
So I was saying that this is probably a project that you can't do right now, given the intensity of the shifting floors and stuff, and the fact that you don't really have any resources. So this would be something you could do in your downtime to figure out what this map is and where it could possibly lead to.
Cool. I will pocket that for later. Mysterious X map.
Everybody else, or actually everybody, go ahead and give me another agility test for the 4 of you, your second round, for Kutz, your final round.
19.
19. You make it through that second loop, or going around to the left and coming to the right for that final straightaway. Theros, how'd you do?
12.
12. You as well. It's a little bit more difficult, but you manage to make your way around. Gotven, you get up and rebound rather quickly, making it to that next checkpoint as well. Kutz, how'd you do?
6.
6. You stumble and fall as your ankle gets twisted up. You will take 1 point of damage, and you're most of the way to that final one. It won't require a check, but you're still off your balance a little bit, and your ankle is going to be hurting you a bit. Lygan, how'd you do?
Got an 11.
An 11. So similarly, you were so focused on your treasure map that you take a step and you fall. You take 1 point of damage. I don't know why I keep rolling. I'm giving you a static 1 point. 1 point of damage as you fall. You're probably going to require another check because it was so immediate right in front of you. But and your ankle is pretty stiff and hurts a bit. Your knees do too. You scrape your knees a bit. So, Kutz, you'll make it to the door. Everybody else, I will need a final agility check for this final stretch. 10, 4,
7.
4, 7. So the 4 of you all take like 2 steps forward, all almost simultaneously, and then start falling over each other. You'll all take 1 point of damage.
The room moved.
As the room moves and shifting. But you guys do, through your stumbling and tumbling, manage to get to the doorway kind of at the feet of Kutz. But it's kind of like the bouncing, where like the room's bouncing, so you're all kind of bouncing along with it all the way down to the end. Kutz, you get to the door. What would you like to do?
She wants to, as she's watching everyone kind of bop their way over, she's just gonna press her ear up against it and try to listen.
Okay. You don't hear... actually, give me a presence check. Go ahead and give me a presence check.
Ooh, 19.
19. You press your ear, and for a moment, you can swear you can hear a soft... But then almost as soon as you distinguish it, it's gone.
Okay. Yeah, she sees the party kind of over in this direction, and she's just gonna say, I think there's something in here. Like else. Other than us. So I'm just gonna walk in, and it's cool.
Okay. You open up the door, and the door swings inward with a...
Aww.
And as the door swings over, you all are met with the immediate stench of death and decay and rot. Looking around the room, you see these bags hanging from the ceiling. But they're not like the punching bags that you'd see in a normal funhouse. These look more like body bags. Gore dripping from the bottom. You can all hear a steady coming from 4 distinct body bags, kind of placed at intervals between 4 doors that are in this room. This room is about a 20 by 20 square. Each, at the center of each of the walls, including the wall that you're at, is a door.
How are the bags affixed to the ceiling?
Looks like they're chained.
They're like chained to a hook on the ceiling,
It
or
look like they're like chained and bolted to the ceiling.
how is the chain attached to the bag?
The little loop that goes through the bag. like a little metal loop that goes through the bag.
But the bag itself is fabric.
Looks to be some sort of fabric, yes.
Could just cut the bags.
This doesn't seem to be our problem. I'm just saying we could turn around right here and walk our little selves out.
But where?
You'd have to go back through everything we did.
I don't want to touch it.
Oh, I was having fun in the fun house while Törn was in another dimension fighting for her life.
You're the one who didn't read the spell right. That's your fault.
Or maybe I did. Maybe. That is exactly what I wanted to do.
You wanted to project yourself into some other spooky realm and never come back.
You see what we have to choose from here, so do you blame me?
I don't blame you, I suppose. I
While
mean,
they're going, I'm slowly backing up.
Into the hallway, or into the room with the body bags?
Into the room with the body bags. I'm
Okay.
just gonna try to weave through.
Okay.
Much distaste.
You weave through. So for the sake of everybody's on the same page, if you're looking into the room, there's left, there's forward, and there's right, and then back would be the one that you guys came in from. Which one would you like to go to, Gotven?
Left.
You can very distinguish, like you can navigate your way through the body bags to not touch the ones that are making the noise. That's very easily doable. You said the
Okay,
left one?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Okay. As you open the door, and you look through this black void that's in front of you, and you hear a thump, 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 thump. And out from the blackness you watch, slowly approaching the door, maybe has another dozen seconds or so, is that clown that you saw outside of the funhouse. What would you all like to do?
I'm gonna slowly shut that door,
Okay, good call.
and I'm gonna go right.
Okay, you open the door. Now about 6 seconds away from the door. Thump, 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 thump. Is the giant clown.
Are you kidding me? Do not like this clown. Close that door too. Nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut that one. too. So, I guess I have to walk through the body bags, huh?
You can still manage to weave your way through if you want to get to that center one. It's not knowing where being able to pick out where those particular body bags were that were making the noise. You can effectively distance yourself from them as you're moving through.
Okay.
If you,
Even if
this
so,
is
I'll
especially
just
since,
shove through it.
especially since you're taking a little bit more time to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
Would
gonna
you
see.
Yeah. Socially distance.
Yeah, you could say socially. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't want to talk to these body bags, so yeah. They are covered completely with some sort of fabric, so they are up to code.
But they're talking to us. They're moaning and groaning like they want to have a conversation.
Meanwhile, our goose is like honking the
Yeah.
whole
Meanwhile,
time.
the goose is just like, man, if the goose could talk, the shit it would say.
We're going at it.
And the horse is just looking at you like, what the hell is going on? Now we got a corgi, we got 3 monkeys, we got a goose now. Like, he's not happy.
Yeah,
Cursed
well,
goose.
the body bags don't bother me even a little bit.
So you open the door that's in front of the front door.
The third one. Yeah, I'm looking at my options.
You open the door. And standing in the doorway is the giant clown.
Damn it. Well, and I shut the door super quickly.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo style, you're like,
Yeah, I like Shaggy Scooby run back to everybody. And I'm like, so we have 3 options. All 3 of them suck. But it looks like we have no choice. So what do y'all feel like fighting tonight?
What are our choices?
Well, masked clown from outside. Option A. Option B. The video cut out. I didn't hear that one very well. What was the second door again?
also masked clown.
Masked clown again. Or third door. Again, giant clown. So, I mean,
What did it look like inside of there?
Maybe they're all the same clown.
Could you see the way out? Or did you
I
just-
saw a clown and an abyss.
Give me just one moment, please.
Mm.
I would like to open the door to the left
Okay.
and immediately start running into the abyss.
As you open the door to the left, you are met with the clown. Or met by the clown.
Can I dodge around it and like close the door behind me?
Like close the door behind you as you go in with the giant clown. Make an agility check for me.
Okay. I want to try something. It's a 17.
A 17. So you close the door, you start running.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. You immediately. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go first.
How long does it take for me to get about 30 feet away from the door?
About 6 seconds or so.
All right. As soon as I do, I'd like to try and cast Death.
Cast death. Go ahead and
Yes.
roll a presence check for me, please.
It's an 8, but I'd like to use my last omen to try and re-roll it.
Go ahead.
Can I auto succeed?
So technically, this is so if you're looking at the omen thing, technically this check is a DR, like any DR. So you can technically use it to lower a DR by 4. An automatic success or a success for a spell is a 12. Ooh. So if you lowered it by 4,
Aha!
it would be 8. So either way, you could re-roll it or
Yes,
you could do
please.
that. So yeah, you
I would like to do
successfully
that.
you successfully can cast the spell Death, which does
4d10 to anything within 30 feet. Which is why I didn't want to do it right next to my party.
go ahead and roll 4d10 for me, please.
Damn, girl, damn.
I might die from this, but at least it'll be hurt. That's 9. 23.
23. You turn around and you cast this spell and you watch this wave of black energy that Nechrubel has given you extend from you and wash over this being. You watch as it dissipates.
I'm not gonna stick around to see what happens. I'm gonna try and run back through that door.
So you run to the door, open it up. Roll a d6 for me, please.
Oh no, I'm gonna be in another dimension again. 2.
So you went in the left door, but when you open the door, you came through that front one.
Oh.
You come running out, and like you're staring directly at your party from across this 20-foot room now.
It might be gone. I'm not sure. Let's try another door.
I open the right door.
Okay. You still see this black void, but you don't see the giant clown. There you go. Words.
What'd you just do?
Well, you know, Nechrubel's greatest gift is death, so I gave it a present.
Of death.
Mm-hmm. Where's my goose?
I hand her the fucking goose, man.
Oh, thank you.
I'm still hearing the breathing, the moaning from the bags.
You are. Yes.
Kutz is gonna go to one of the bags that's moving or making that sound, and she's going to take her knife and try to cut into it.
Okay, so it's easy enough. You cut open the bag where there seemed to already be kind of a seam to it already. You follow through, and as it flops open, you watch as this undead creature starts falling towards you. Go ahead and give me an agility check, please, to avoid it falling straight up on top of you.
13?
13? Yeah, that's good enough. So you managed to dodge out. Well, and you is that with your pluses?
That's with my +1,
That's
yeah.
Okay, so you managed to dodge out of the way as this undead falls to the ground. And starts to kind of slowly stand up.
Don't know what I was expecting.
Go ahead and make an attack roll, a strength roll, please.
Oh yeah, that's gonna hit a 9.
A 9. You stab out, and you miss as you underestimate the standing path of this creature.
Whoosh. Oh.
I need Kutz for you to roll initiative for the party, please.
Ooh, I rolled a 3.
A 3. The enemy will go first. So before we do, I'm gonna have you guys all roll initiative, so that way I know your order going through. So go ahead and roll me a d6 plus your agility. 4 for Törn. Anyone higher than it? 6 for Kutz. A 2 for Gotven.
Does my goose get to roll?
Your goose does not get to roll, no. But is that a 2 for Theros and Lygan as well? Cool.
Yep.
Awesome. So it's gonna go first, and it's make an attack roll on you, Kutz. So I need you to make an agility roll for me, please.
Ooh, 18.
18. That will be a success. So it tries to bite at your throat, and you just manage to dodge out of the way and move. It is now your turn.
Ooh, awesome. And she's gonna have me just kind of like swung forward, slightly staggered a bit after miscalculating. She's just gonna like twist her wrist around and just try to stab him in the side.
Go for it. Give me a strength test, please.
18.
18, that will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Oh, 2.
2. It will, because of its leathery scraps of body, it will negate 1 point of that damage. But you can tell that even with that 1 point of damage that you're doing substantial damage to it. Törn, your turn.
Me and my goose are going to back up towards the wall, and actually, we'll. Does it have teeth?
It does have teeth. It is a zombie. It needs teeth in order to bite things.
Fine, I'll hit it with my femur.
Okay, go ahead and roll a strength roll for me.
5.
5. So you swing and you just boom against the body. You're going for a face shot to knock some of those teeth out. Nothing. Gotven, Lygan, and Theros, you guys all have the same. So whichever one of you would like to go first may go first.
I'll show some initiative and run up and try to stab it.
Go for it. Go ahead and roll. If that's all that you, that Theros and Gotven, the two of you are doing, you guys can preemptively roll your attacks, and we can kind of just
Okay,
go around.
so first one was cocked against a couple other dice, so I re-rolled. I got it's agility,
Strength.
strength, a 16.
16 will hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
It's just a d4. And I got max damage, 4.
4. Nice. It will reduce that damage by 1, so you deal 3, but it's looking pretty hurt now. You can start to see some of, like, you hit the insides and some of the guts are starting to fall out and decayed. Theros, what'd you get?
I got a 15.
Awesome. And Gotven, what'd you get?
I'm actually gonna use my Prism of Ambiguity.
Ooh, what's that do?
It's a little prism. I'm gonna pull it out of my bag. I'm gonna let go of it. It's gonna set afloat and kind of hover above my hand. It has to pull from a light source and have to do a presence test to activate it.
Okay.
But it's gonna hopefully heal me a d6.
Awesome. So go ahead and do your presence check. Theros, go ahead and roll your damage.
I got a 5.
A 5. So it will negate 2 of that. However, dealing 3 points of damage does do enough damage. And as you swing out with your flail, this is yet the second creature that you watch as you hit the skull, and the skull, or the head of this creature kind of pops off as the neck snaps, and the rest of the body just crumples to the ground. A few teeth scatter across the floor.
Who's that?
Alright, me and the goose are hunting for teeth.
Awesome. Everybody else, go ahead and give me a presence check, please. As you look around the room.
Mine was a 14.
A 14. Okay, roll a d6 for me. Gotven, thank you. Kutz, what'd you get?
21.
21. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me. Theros.
7.
7. You help Törn find some teeth. And Lygan.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me. Gotven, what'd you get for your d6?
1.
A 1. Looking around the room, you feel a certain power calling to you. And you look in the corner, and you see, leaned up against the wall, a tablet.
Ooh. I'm gonna grab that. Which tablet is it?
Go ahead and roll a d10 for me, and I will tell you. You legit needed a 1 in order to get a tablet too. I put that in there specifically for you, and for some reason fate drove that. So I'm very happy about that. Go ahead and roll a d10.
9.
9. Which one do you have? You have Meta Alchemy. You already have that one, so go ahead and roll again. I'm not going to give you the exact same one that you have.
I got a 2.
A 2. 2 is the total matter comprehension. Mends or breaks a normal-sized item, mundane or otherwise, including armor. Increase or decrease 1 tier. You can increase or decrease armor by 1 tier, and you can also break down weapons with it, using it.
Oh shit. That's awesome.
Awesome. Kutz got the 21. What was your d6?
It was 3.
A 3. So you are looking around, and you see laying on the ground this torch. And as you pick it up in your hand, you can see some runes carved into the cloth that's around the head of the torch.
Interesting.
This is the... let me pull out the book to tell you exactly what it is. Where is it at? This torch burns for an immortal hour. Hold it and live. You can lose limbs and enter negative HP, but won't die unless you drop the torch or it burns out. So basically, you can you can turn the torch on or off whenever you want, like light it whenever you want. It costs an action, but while the torch is lit, you cannot die by any means.
Ooh. Yes.
And then, Lygan, what'd you get?
I got a 5.
A 5. Oh, did I put 2 of these on here? All right, I'm gonna have you go ahead and roll a D. Oh no, no, that works. I accidentally put 2 tablets of obscurity on here. So instead, you find a scroll. Go ahead and roll a D2 for me.
1.
1. So it's going to be a scroll or an unclean scroll. Go ahead and roll a D10 for me.
Alrighty, D10. 10.
You get death as well.
Awesome.
If you do not already have it. If you have it, then you can sell that scroll to gain another one.
Yeah, I do not have that one, so I'm good.
Or if you don't like that scroll, you can sell that scroll for a new one.
I'll keep it.
I figured you'd want to keep it. Lygan and Kutz, while you're standing there looking around the room and finding your separate items, you both kind of get this ping in your head, like this idea, this light bulb, and you're like, well, she ran into the door on the left and came out the center one. And the giant clown had been to every single door. But the only door none of you have checked is the door that's behind you.
Well then, I guess I'll try that one.
And as you open the door, instead of seeing the shifting floor like you did last time, you see a tunnel. And at the end of the tunnel, a giant sign with an arrow pointing down that says exit. This tunnel is the final tunnel of any great fun house. The one that spins around in a circle and has destroyed so many kids' lives in hopes of ever achieving greatness. No, I'm kidding. But it does smell like vomit and refuse, as multiple kids have gotten sick throughout the course of their attempts to try to best this obstacle.
Is our puppeteer friend still with us?
The puppeteer never followed you guys. He was locked within his box and could not get out.
Boo.
Maybe one day he'll be free.
Well, I was gonna ask him to go first, but seeing that he's not here.
She's going to just like inhale really deeply through her nose, and she's like, smells like home. I should start walking.
For this one, I need anybody who's going through to give me a toughness check.
Ooh. Oh no.
3, 2,
11.
11. Okay. Törn. 10 for Gotven.
Oh, here's what happens. I have a -2 modifier on toughness, and I rolled a 2.
Okay. So you pretty much take a step in and you're like, nope, and fall flat on your face.
Not my goose!
Your goose, you lets out a as it falls. You fall on top of it. The goose is fine, but you guys are kind of covered in this layer of what you'd imagine to be vomit as you fall. The rest of you are kind of slipping and sliding. Who got another low number? I think either Kutz or Kutz. You also fall, and you start to, the two of you. What'd you get there, Ross? If I remember correctly, you got like.
Oh, I got 11.
An 11. So Gotven and Theros, you manage to hold kind of firm. You do slip a little, but not enough for anything substantial. Lygan, did you roll? 3. you also slip as well, and the three of you, covered in vomit, start sliding down this tunnel, which was apparently at an angle. It's also kind of churning, so it's like a weird, like, washing machine slide as you're heading toward, and now you all can see it at the end. This exit is a drop-off.
Ooh, great.
Watch out for my goose!
The three of you, as you get closer, you can see, and it's too quick for Theros or Gotven for you guys to really do anything to catch up, but the three of you, you can see at the very end, right underneath the light, is a rope ladder. And I need all three of you, like a rope, like a ladder, like one of those rope ladders that goes down. Yeah, like one of those spider web looking ladders that you could climb on as a kid. So as you guys are all reaching toward the end, if you want to attempt to try to grab on it and not fall, so you don't know how far the drop is, I need an agility test from all three of you. Oh god, if this is the way half the party goes, I'm gonna be so...
9.
6.
14.
14.
14 as well.
Gotven, you were good. But Kutz, you grab onto the rope. I'll give you one action to try to save one of them as a reaction.
Oh no. I'm so sorry. I'm grabbing Lygan. I'm gonna try to reach for her.
Goose!
Oh, I could have just chosen the goose.
You could have just...
Come on, I want the goose.
You gotta just save the fucking goose.
Törn, do me a favor. Törn, I want you to roll a D100 because I want to see if the goose will do something.
Oh, my beautiful baby goose. 77.
So, I have a rule in most of my D&D games. I call it the good old Senate 51. So, if you roll a 51% or higher on a check, whether it's something that I've come up with that is kind of life-saving-y-ish, or if it's something that you may not have, like the torch, for instance. If you roll a 51 or 1% or higher, it happens. So, as you reach down and grab Lygan, Kutz, you watch below you and you're like, no, I should have saved the goose. And the goose just lets out a and starts to flap its wings. As you are continuing to drop, you are dropping slower and will take less damage than you would have if you would have fell the entire 30 feet. So you'll take...
I'm like holding on to the helmet and the goose is slowing us down.
So you'll take a
That's not
total...
what's happening.
You'll take a total of 4 points of damage.
Oh, well, that's no worries, because being a child of Nechrubel, I can go into negative HP.
Oh. Well, I didn't know that. So you could have legit just died anyway. Dang. No. Yeah. Does that
I'm
does that
actually at negative 1 now.
does that take you to -1?
Yes, it does.
All right. So, what's the rest of the rules for that? Can you read me that?
Darkness will not let you die. You can reach negative HP. Roll a d6 higher than your negative health. Pass it and live. Fail it and die.
Okay. So you just need to not get a 1. Okay, so you live, and I'm gonna say you fall to the ground unconscious. Go ahead and roll me a D4 if it's a D4, and if it's a 4, re-roll it.
It's 2.
A 2. Okay, where's that? There we go. So you will go ahead and roll a D6 for me. 3. So you'll lose as you fall. You'll break your leg as part of your fall and going into that negative HP, and you can't act for 4 rounds. But after that 4th round, you'll come back with a D4 of health. So by the time they all get down to you, we'll have you roll a D4. Everybody else, Kutz and Lygan, you guys the 2 of you are able to climb down no problem because you guys are already on the ladder. Gotven and Theros, the 2 of you will need to make a check to attempt to jump over or just straight up jump down, whichever you'd wish. If you want to jump across and try to get to the rope ladder, I need an agility test from the two of you, please.
I'm gonna do that. I got a 17.
17? Okay, no problem.
I got a 13.
13. Awesome. No problem. The two of you are able to jump across, having the footing, and being aware of this. You jump and you start to climb down. At that point, go ahead and roll your d4, Torn.
My faith restored. And I'm like clinging to this tablet like,
Torn, go ahead and roll your d4 for your health.
Woohoo! 4.
4. So you heal 4 points of health. And as you get to the bottom of this chamber, you hear the cackling. And this light, this stage presents itself, and this stage light hits the stage, and in front of it, you see this clown. Not the towering clown that you saw before, but a man. Lit, or, reds and blues painted on his face, his hair, a mess.
I see you came to the end. Good. But you won't get away that easily, no.
You watch as the giant clown starts to step forward. All of you make a presence check for me.
I'm gonna look at my horse and say, please don't let me die.
Okay. Yeah, I can. Okay. Go ahead and
That's
add
my
your.
horse.
Yeah, go ahead and add your +2. What do we get? 17, 19, a 14, a 17. Okay, all of you guys. Let's see if.
And a 7.
And a 7. So everybody except for Theros notices this. In your haste, the first couple of times running away from this creature, you didn't quite notice it, but you see two things. On the top of his head, of his mask, a spike, and on his neck, a padlock. Looking around Lygan, Törn, and Gotven, you notice that the clown has a set of keys on his belt. Theros, roll a d6 for initiative for me, please. 4. So you guys will go first, so go ahead and roll initiative. Okay, Kutz with a 4. Törn with a 3. 0 for Theros. And Lygan, how'd you do? A 0 as well? Wow. 0 for Lygan. And wow, okay. Gotven going first. Okay, Gotven, what would you like to do?
I don't know what she would do. She would probably just pull out her warhammer and just kind of survey the scene. Besides him, is there anything around?
You see, there's no clear exit. You see the giant the giant clown. For the 3 of 4, Gotven, for Lygan, and for Törn, the spike on its head that you saw looks like it could be potentially smashed, and do and affect the creature in some way. And then other than that, you see the keys, you see the padlock on this creature's neck.
Okay, I'm gonna, I guess, hold my action.
Okay.
I'm just gonna stand there with the warhammer for now and watch him.
Okay. Awesome. Kutz.
Um, so this room that we're in are there like any items in this? Something to try to kind of get obscured behind?
There's some crates and boxes around that that you could duck behind.
Awesome. Kutz would like to do that.
Okay, go ahead and give me an agility check, please.
Woo! Plus 1, 15.
15. Awesome. You think you're pretty well hidden. Törn.
I'm gonna try to cast. I'm gonna try and use a scroll on this guy.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for Tongue of Eris. Oh no. Daemon of Capillaries once more.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a presence check for me, please.
19.
19. That is a success. So it's Matt Damon
Hell
of
yeah.
Capillaries do.
Matt Damon. One creature suffocates for d6 rounds.
So which creature is suffocating?
How big is the thing with the spike on the head?
That one's about 12. That's the one that's been 12 feet tall consistently and has the giant hammer.
Let's do that guy.
Okay. And then go ahead and roll your d4.
For 5 rounds, it will suffocate, losing 1 hit point per round.
Awesome. For 5 rounds. Okay. So, Lygan and Theros, it's both of your turns.
I'm gonna tell Porgy to go fight the smaller clown with the keys.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20 for Corgi.
Ooh, Porgy the Corgi got himself a little 19.
A 19 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage for me.
He did 4 points of damage. What a good little puppy.
4 points of damage. Okay. That looks like it hurt him really bad. And he lets out a, "Shoo! Get out of here, puppy! No, get out of here!" And he starts, he's trying to kick away your corgi and run away. Lygan, it's your turn.
It's just the one looming creature in the room, right? It's just the one?
It's the big one with the spike
Okay.
and the collar, and then there's an actual human dressed like looking clown.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna try Eyelid Blinds the Mind one more time then. We're gonna try to put these creatures to sleep.
Okay.
They have to
You need
succeed
to,
on
before you do, you need to make a presence check for me, please.
yes, a presence check to make sure I can cast it. Okay. That is a 13.
A 13 will do.
Oh, okay. Okay, so, it says DR 14, I get to target up to D4 creatures, so
roll
do
a d4.
Okay. I got a 3.
So you can target the 2 creatures, and if you want to target one of your friends, you can.
No, I don't want to put anybody to sleep.
Okay.
Not yet.
Awesome.
Everyone's doing really.
And then they have to roll a DR 14.
Yes.
So that
or
means-
fall asleep for 1 hour.
Awesome. So that means I just roll a straight d20. Oh, and because it's green, it goes into the green screen. But I'll roll this one d20, a straight d20, and if it's a 14 or higher, then they succeed. So the first one is a natural 1, and the second one is a 16. So
Okay.
the first one was for our clown being attacked by the corgi, so he falls asleep. The second one is for the guy who's already currently suffocating to death, and he doesn't fall asleep. However, he is still suffocating, and on his turn, which is after, which is right now, you watch as he kind of drops. He drops this giant hammer that he has, and begins clutching at his throat and kind of falls to his knees. The other clown is asleep for 10 minutes. So now, because he's suffocating and has 4 more rounds of suffocating, you guys essentially have, the 5 of you, 4 more rounds, or 24 seconds to figure out what you would like to do and accomplish that. I will allow that as free time for you guys to talk amongst yourselves, but it has to be more or less kind of a quick, just like I'm gonna kind of put the pressure on you as if you're dragging it on.
Gotven, would you like to hold a point with your great hammer just in case it moves unslightly while a few of us and maybe one other person does distraction, but a couple of us try to unlock that padlock around its neck?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay.
I lift my mighty hammer and I hold it above him.
Awesome. So that'll take 1 round. So you guys have 2 rounds, or 3 rounds now to unlock the padlock. So you guys can all run and grab the keys and run over. There are 4 keys. I rolled for which one is the correct key. There are 4 keys. Just number them 1 through 4. Which one would you like to try first?
I'll try number 1.
Number 1. Okay, you go and try to unlock it, and it doesn't work.
Anybody got a better idea for the key?
Number 3.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Number 3. Okay, so you go and you. All right, 1, 2, 3, and with 1 round left before this thing suffocates, or it stops suffocating, you unlock and you feel it pop, and you unlatch the. You take off the lock from this mask. The mask has a hinge, so it can be swung open.
I'm gonna back away if somebody else wants to touch the mask. I'm not touching it.
I'll pop it open with the femur and then
Okay.
scoot back with Lygan.
So as you pop open the mask, you see within it a face, a human face, and it looks up at all of you and says, "Thank you. I'm free now." And the face starts to kind of like Luke Skywalker from Force Awakens dissipate as the body kind of deflates. You watch as the clown that is asleep, who cannot say anything because he's asleep, starts to dissipate, more in an ethereal kind of ghost-like way. You're all hit with a vision. A man. The man that you saw behind this mask. Painting himself up as a clown, working in this carnival, enjoying his life, having fun. Living within this fun house was where he typically resided in this portion of the fun house, having fun and doing entertaining shows when kids would come through at the end. However, one day he heard screams and crashing of glass. He ran to look as he saw 3 kids had tripped, fell into the glass, cut themselves, and as he tried to help them and save their lives, they died in his arms. Hearing the screams, the master of the carnival and other figureheads, including the parents, came and found him amongst the dead bodies, assuming they killed them, dragged him out without a trial, and burned him at the stake. Ever since, in days like tonight, he would plague this carnival, taking children, men, women, even adventurers such as yourselves, as the more demonic clown took more and more of him. You have freed his spirit and allowed him to enter the Shimmering Fields. As his body dissipates and you all come out of this vision, behind the stage you watch as the curtains open and a doorway sits before you.
That is just a dang shame. Why would anyone want to go to the Shimmering Fields when you could be in everlasting darkness forevermore?
Right.
Really no accounting for taste.
Not even. Let's blow this popsicle stand. I just walk out the door.
As you open up the door, you find yourself, all of you find yourselves, staring at the carnival. Behind you, you're looking up behind, you see the entryway that you had entered for the funhouse. Patrons are enjoying the games, and some of them are even running into the main tent where you see the carnival master yelling and calling for the next show. Looking at each other, thinking it best to leave rather than cause any more trouble, the 5 of you head back to Chelswig to continue your adventures and to cause some more chaos. And that's where our adventure ends. Now, before we finish for tonight, because I forgot to do this last game, Bree, since you won't be joining us for our next installment, can you do me a favor and can you roll a D6 for me, please?
Okay. 2.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot to do a misery last time. Actually, Lygan, you were there last time, so roll a D6 for me.
Okay. 3.
Nothing happens again. So, no miseries happen between the 2 adventures that have taken place thus far. You'll figure out what happens if one does happen. Thank you all for joining us on this Trial of the Damned. Our next installment, which will be, I think, all 4 of these ladies, with the exception of Bree, will be returning next month, October 22nd, for our next adventure. Thank you all. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. Wear a mask. Social distance. And vote.
And don't talk to clowns.
That too.
Never.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Or dolls. Or horses. Okay, bye.